Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Rebels Radio. Just a few problems there, just coming on a little bit late there. My apologies there, but you should be able to get us on the first stream that we set up there. Just I've forgotten what to do. I wasn't here on Saturday, so forgotten what to do. There you go. So welcome to Rebels Radio. We're here today at Rookery Hill, or the Future Fuel Stadium, as it's called, for East Thurrock United versus Slough Town in this National Vanarama National League South fixture. Bring you all the action as it happened, and we will try and get in contact, get you to come and join in and shout out as well. We're just making sure that we're absolutely running. If anyone listening would like to just say hello to me, that would be nice. Just so that everyone knows what we're on. So we're here at Rookery Hill, is the home of the East Thurrock Stadium. If you've never been to East Thurrock before, then I can tell you that we have a strange setup here. Behind one of the goals to our right is two little wooden stands, and they're very tall. They're going to be about 15 foot wide. Then on the far side opposite us, from the corner flags coming up to just about halfway inside the grounds, there are two seated stands. Behind the goal to our left, there is no stand at all. It's just standing area, and then we're in a seated stand on the left hand side of the ground, and it's here that we are in position, and we've got a good view of the ground here today, so hopefully everything is going well. Pitch here is looking absolutely brilliant, and thank you to Graham for telling me that you can all hear me, because I did have a few problems earlier. But if you do want to get in contact with us, please do. You can do so a couple of ways. You can do so on Twitter. It's at MyFC Rebels Radio, or if you're listening via the YouTube, you should find there's a little comment section. You do need to be a subscriber to YouTube. That is free to do, and that will come through to us here, and we'll give you a shout out. As we'll do that in a second. Just a couple of things for you. Up and coming games for the Rebels. They are at home on Bank Holiday Money Day, as it is now officially known. That's the 27th of August. That's this Monday coming. It's 3 o'clock kickoff, and we will be at home to Dulwich Hamlet. Then after that, Slough will be away again to the Essex area next Saturday. That's the 1st of September. 1st of September, sorry. Slough will be away to Chelmsford City. Now, it's 3 o'clock kickoff, but just if you are planning on going, then it's easier to buy your ticket online. It will be cheaper if you buy it on ticket online before the game. That's next Saturday away to Chelmsford City, and then Slough will be at home on the 8th of September to Oxford City. Those are your up-and-coming games for the Rebels. We thanks again to our two sponsors. They are the Slough Town Supporters Trust, and also to My Football Club, the online football community. They have just for this week purchased me a brand new microphone, which we've got, which we haven't got here today because we didn't have time to set it up. Obviously, it wasn't here last week through family reasons, but we have it back, and our thanks to both of those for digging their pockets in and buying us a half decent microphone, which we will be using from Bank Holiday Monday onwards, hopefully. But there you go. I'll run through the two sides for you. You can also run through the other games that are on in the National League South this weekend. It's Chelmsford City versus Bath City. It's Chippenham Town versus Billericay. Dulwich Hamlet versus Gloucester City. Hungerford Town versus Dartford. St Albans versus Eastbourne Borough. Torquay United versus Hampton and Richmond Borough. Wealdstone versus Concord Rangers. That's 5th versus 2nd. Welling United versus Hemel Hempstead. Weston-super-Mare versus Oxford City, and Woking versus Truro City. So some good games going on there, as there will be all the way around in this league. We'll run through the two sides for you as well, and just a congratulations to Slough's captain today, Mark Nisbet, who makes his 100th appearance for the Rebels here this afternoon. So that's one of the players for you. There are 3 changes to the East Thurrock team. Their lineup is this, and they welcome back their top scorer after his honeymoon. In goal for them is Jack Giddins. 2 is Danny Harris. 3, Tom Stephen. 4 is Freddie Monker. 5 is Ryan Scott. 6, Lee Burns. 7, Ben Marlow. 8, Harry Lee. 9, Sam Higgins. 10, Alfie Egan. And 11 is Jack Simmons. The substitutes for East Thurrock United are Lewis Knight, 12. 14, Tom Derry. 15 is their only goal scorer so far this season in Danilo Orsi Dodomo. And number 16 is Gabe Kellum. For the Rebels, there's 5 changes for the Rebels this afternoon. In goal is Jack Turner. 2, Josh Jackman. 3, George Wells. 4, Guy Hollis. 5, and the captain, Mark Nisbet. Those 100 appearances for the Rebels. 6 is Lee Togwell. 7, Scott Davies. 8, Simon Dunn. 9, Manny Williams. 10 is Chris Flood, 11 Warren Harris. Substitutes for the Rebels this afternoon are Sean Fraser, 12, 14 Sam Togwell, 15 James Dobson, 16 Louis Saws, and 17 is Perry Coles. That is your lineup for this evening. Referee today is Mr. Jack Packman. His two assistants are Michael Marsh and David Hutton. The two teams are about to just come out onto the pitch here this afternoon. And it will be East Thurrock in their home kit. And it's almost very much like a Slough kit. It's a yellow top, but it's got a black sleeve. They play black shorts and black socks. Slough are in their away kit, which is the all light blue kit. Jack Turner is got a new goalkeeping kit this season, and he is wearing his dark blue kit, very reminiscent of a Chelsea kit. And the goalkeeper Giddins for East Thurrock is wearing an all grey attire with some orange on his shoulders. We'll run through the two sides for you in a second. We are about 3 minutes away from kick-off here, and again, if you do want to get in contact with us, as has Alan Woodhouse, Stephen Hain, Graham, Neil Humphrey and Miles Reardon. So the referees and the players just going through the handshakes here at the moment at the Future Fuel Stadium, Rookery Hill, as the Slough fans have travelled in good contingent here this afternoon. 60 on the coach this afternoon, and a lot of people have made their own way up. Slightly grey clouds to my left, and then strangely to the right is some beautiful blue sunshine. So looks like we're in for a very fun afternoon. Slough have been here before. Last time they came here to East Thurrock was 2007. They lost 4-1. That was the season where they were regularly getting beaten by heavy numbers. They actually Slough lost at home to East Thurrock 5-0 that day. Although East Thurrock's at bottom of the table at the moment, they have only lost one game by more than one goal. They lost 2-0 away to Torquay United. Otherwise, all their games, their losses have been by one goal. And they welcome back Sam Higgins, who was their leading scorer last season, who is back after honeymoon. Two captains just being called to the centre of the pitch here. And just starts to come over a little bit darker here as those clouds start to come over. Just hope that maybe that there was beautiful sunshine to the right comes over to this near hand side. And so just see if Slough will line up with Simon Dunn on the left of midfield, or whether Slough will go with a more 4-3-3 formation here. As we're just waiting for the kick-off to be. Referee just going through a few things with the two captains here in the centre. And it's going to be Slough will be shooting from right to left for this first half. So I'll run through those two sides for you. It's going to be Giddins in goal, 2 Harris, 3 Stephen, 4 Monkle, 5 Scott, 6 Lee Burns, 7 Marlowe, 8 Lee, 9 Higgins, 10 Egan, and 11 is Jack Simmons. So Slough, it's Turner 1, Jackman 2, Wells 3, Nisbet 4. Hollis 4, Nisbet 5, Togwell Lee 6, Davis 7, 8 Dunn, 9 Williams, 10 Flood, and Warren Harris is 11. It looks like East Thurrock will have the kick-off here at home. And Slough will be lining up here, just in front of us as the fans make their way round. And Josh Chapman's mum and dad just walking past us here. And it's going to be East Thurrock with the kick-off. And it's played here, quickly out here, looking for Higgins, and Higgins up against Jackman, but it's Higgins who has fouled, and the first foul of the day goes to the home side. And it's a free kick here to the Rebels inside their own half. The East Thurrock fans making their way behind the goal that to our left-hand side as Turner comes across to take this free kick for Slough. And just blinded by a pillar there as he takes it, goes all the way through to Giddins in the East Thurrock goal. And he looks to play a long ball down here, again looking for Higgins. Higgins up against Hollis. Hollis wins the header, but it falls here to Monkle. Monkle plays it in here to Simmons, who plays it off Jackman, and out for a throw to East Thurrock United. Halfway inside the house, now half. It's Harry Lee is the player that comes across to take this. And the two giant centre-backs for East Thurrock in Scott and Burns come forwards for this throw. So it's like it's going to be a long throw into the box here from Harry Lee. So with some defending to do here at the moment. Ball played in, it's headed across the box, bouncing around, it's goalwards. Lee Togwell with the clearance, comes to Warren Harris, who clears, only breaks here towards Marlowe. Marlowe plays it on the far hand side to Burns, and the ball is flicked through, and Davies leaves it for Turner to come and grab inside his penalty area. And he looks to try and get Slough on the attack for the ball here, looking for Flood. It's a great ball here, finds Flood. Flood plays it inside here, a bit behind Williams, and it allows Burns to clear the ball. Long clearance here, and it catches in the wind, and Wells under pressure does well to shake off 2 challenges there, and then chips the ball out here towards Dunn. Dunn playing on the left midfield position here this afternoon, and brings the ball forwards here for Slough, breaking in towards Lee Togwell. Togwell with a space. I just tried to play it quickly. It's not cleared very well though by the left back Stephen, and under pressure from Lee Togwell, it's cleared out for a throw to Slough. Togwell tried to just switch the ball in. Played in quickly here towards Scott Davis. First touch of the ball for him as he chips the ball here, looking for Flood on the far hand side. Flood being held there. The ball breaks here towards Dunn. He gets a touch to it, but it falls into the arms gratefully of Giddens in the East Thurrock goal. And he'll just run to the edge of his penalty and hold the ball up here. Allow his team to get further down the field this afternoon. He just gets this ball. Doesn't give the best of kicks there, and it's won there by Lee, flicked on though by Warren Harris to find Manny Williams. Williams just plays the ball a little bit too high, and Flood gets a touch to it but can only head it into the arms of the goalkeeper at East Thurrock. And Slough just not getting their passes in together here, but a good start for them, positive in these first couple of minutes. As this time a better kick here by the goalkeeper, goes all the way through to Nisbet. His cushion header finds Togwell. Togwell immediately under pressure, and ball headed on by Marlow. Higgins flicks the header back on. Ball bouncing around. Moncourt tries to get there, and it's George Wells on the far hand side who tries to see the ball out here, but does well under the pressure from Egan and clears well for the Rebels. And flicked on by Flood, looking for the run of Manny Williams here down this left-hand side, but it goes back towards the goalkeeper. Williams almost gets there, and Warren Harris can't get there. It comes to Scott Davis, and his little ball in finds Warren Harris in the central position, gets to the edge of the box, holds the ball up, gets a turn, shoots. It's a good save though there by Giddens in the end, and he does well low down to his right-hand side. And the first effort of the day goes to the Rebels, and it's well saved by Giddens and the Slough fans behind that goal, making their selves heard here. Good afternoon to Al M, Marcelo who's listening in, and Connor and Graham Ash. Long ball here played forwards again to Higgins, well won again by Guy Hollis. Ball flicks in towards Dunn. Dunn trying to play it through. It's blocked there by Lee, and his ball finds the centre back Burns, chips the ball forwards looking for Higgins. Higgins is offside by a country mile, still takes a shot, hits the post, and it's going to be a free kick for an offside to the Rebels here in their own half. And it's going to be left for everyone now. Good afternoon to Stuart Brooking, who's listening in. He's one of the Wheatsheaf Rebels, I do believe. So good evening, good afternoon to you guys. As we wait for Turner to take this free kick here for the Rebels, making sure that the linesman's got him in position here on this, just outside of his penalty area. Just plays it short here towards Nisbet. Unusual for Slough to play it this way. Nisbet with his orange boots has plenty of time to bring the ball to the halfway line and finds Dunn on the left hand side. Dunn just crips the ball in, looking for Williams, headed away well by Burns. It comes on, flicked on, comes through to Togwell, but Davies is judged to have fouled, and it's a free kick to the home side here, halfway inside their own half. And it will be Burns, the centre back, to take this kick here. They're actually going to leave it for the goalkeeper Giddens to come and take. Just trying to see which one is the captain for East Thurrock. Don't see anyone with an armband on. As we wait for Giddens to take this free kick halfway inside his own half, and the goalkeeper chips it here, looking for Higgins on the far hand side. Higgins goes down rather easily there, looking for a free kick, but it's gone all the way out for a throw to Slough, which Guy Hollis will take and try and get some distance on this throw here. Long throw down here, looking for Flood. Flood misses the ball completely. It comes through to Davis, who heads the ball on, and it's a free volley forward there by Burns, only as far as Hollis, who volleys the ball back down, and it just turns for Flood there, just bounced and then hit him on the backside and goes out of play for a throw to East Thurrock here, just 10 yards inside their own half, which Stephen, the left back, will take. And it's going to be Stephen who will take this throw. I can't see him because there's a pillar in the way, but he takes this throw here, looking for Higgins, and Jackman comes off Jackman last. It's a free kick here to East Thurrock. They take it quickly with it's nicked off the foot of Egan by Simon Dunn, but they can't control it. It's played back out here towards Danny Harris for East Thurrock, who plays the ball in here towards Monco, inside towards Lee. Lovely little bit of football here towards Egan. Egan turns away from trouble and finds Monco. Monco with the ball outside on the far hand side to Marlow. Marlow looks up to cross, hits him with a bit of pace, and well defended there by Guy Hollis. It's the first corner of the game, and it goes to East Thurrock. And it will be on the far hand side, and it will be Jack Simmons who will go across to take this free kick. Corner. I don't even know. Have I done this before? Corner for East Thurrock. And it's going to be, I'm just going to see if it's going to be an in-swinging or out. It's going to be an in-swinging corner here for Slough to defend. Everyone's on the goal line. It's played into the box. It's headed by Higgins. It's hit the wrong way. Warren Harris underneath it trying to clear and wins a free kick there for a foul by one of the East Thurrock players just on the edge of the area. It's a free kick to the Rebels, and the Slough fans just congregated in one of those little stands on that far hand side. As Turner takes this quickly, trying to find Warren Harris. Harris up against Stephen. Stephen does a great defensive header. Ball comes through here, but stolen off him by Jackman. Jackman finds Warren Harris, and then Stephen comes in with a good challenge to win the ball. And Jackman tries to win it back for Slough, and he plays it down here for Manny Williams to chase. Burns just turns away from him and plays it back towards Giddens. Giddens lets the ball roll across his 6-yard box and clears the ball. Not the best of clearances, but does manage to find Marlowe, who does well to flick the ball on, but Wells intercepts for Slough, turns just inside the centre circle, spreads it out here towards Dunn. Dunn has time to chip the ball forward, looking for the run of Lee Togwell, headed away by Scott, but only as far as Moncur. Back here towards Scott, chased down by Simon Dunn, plays it out quickly here, and it comes here to Simmons, who finds Egan. Egan, lovely little cushion ball, finds Stephen here just inside his own half, chips the ball down here, looking for the run of Simmons, but he needs a motorbike to catch that, and he hasn't got one of them. It's had a play for a throw to the Rebels, I think, right by the corner flag here. So Guy Hollis will go across to take this one, and it is Slough being penned in their own half here by East Thurrock. I don't know what's going on the back of their shirts, but it says "Be rude not to" on the back of the East Thurrock shirts. I don't know what that is. Long throw comes in here from Hollis, headed away by Stephen, comes off the head of Burns. Stephen gets a second chance to head it, but can't keep it in. And out of play for a throw to Slough. And Scott Davis looks to try and take this one. He's going to take it quickly here towards Nisbet. Nisbet here just has time on the ball. Back here towards Davis. Davis turns. Has Togwell there. Plays it with his left foot. It's a poor ball. Cut out well by Scott, who just hoofs the ball back down. It'll be a free header for Nisbet to plonk it forwards. And Williams tries to get there. It's come off the head of... Well, hits Flood on the back. One to Warren Harris. Puts through for Flood. Flood gets into the penalty area. Shoots from distance. And it's just wide of the goal there, and he was just leaning back as he took the shots. But off target there by Chris Flood. Maybe try to hit it across the goal would have been a better option. But there you go. And it's a goal kick here to the home side East Thurrock. We'll try and keep you up to date with those other scores of the other games in. There is just starting to rain here at East Thurrock. It looks like the dark clouds are coming across us here this afternoon. And a long kick here by Giddens, catches in the wind. It's going to be Warren Harris who gets ahead to it. It's out of play for a throw to East Thurrock. Higgins tries to get his side to start quickly and finds Moncur. Moncur immediately under pressure. Plays the ball out here towards Danny Harris, the right back, who's in an advanced position. His ball plays into Egan, but it's a bit behind. Back here towards Danny Harris, in towards Moncur, giving it away to Scott Davis. In here towards Togwell. Togwell lets the ball run and chases to get to the ball. Gets caught there, and that's a bad challenge there on Lee Togwell by Lee Burns, and it will be a free kick to Slough, but Togwell seems to be okay. Davis just saying that he's reached in here for this, and I think it's just going to be a talking to here to the East Thurrock number 6 from the referee, Mr. Packman. Just sliding in a little bit there with it wasn't a reckless challenge, it was just slightly late, and it is going to be a free kick here to Slough. Nisbet and Hollis go forwards for the Rebels here for this free kick. And it's going to be Scott Davis to take it. It's about 5 yards inside the East Thurrock half. And Davis just chips the ball in. And it's headed by Nisbet goalwards, but it's taken by the goalkeeper. And it's an off-target effort there for Slough. And it's an easy save for the goalkeeper, who's just got Manny Williams standing in front of him. And this time aims the ball long here again towards Higgins, up against Hollis. Higgins wins the ball and it finds Marlowe, who takes it off Moncur's foot. Marlowe getting pushed back here towards Stephen. Stephen plays it inside here towards Lee. Lee has time to turn and find Moncur. Moncur busying himself here towards Stephen, closed down by Warren Harris. Played outside. Jackman gets a foot to it. It's played through. It's got too much on it and run through to Jack Turner in the Slough goal. He stops it from going out for a goal kick and keeps the ball inside his penalty area with his feet. Like I say, we'll try and keep you up to date with some of the scores from around the other games in our league. But we'll concentrate on the Rebels here for the moment, as Jack Turner has the ball in his hands here as the rain just stopped here now for the moment. Aimed here looking for Flood. It's Scott with the header away, only as far as Davis. Davis, little cushion header, trying to find Williams. Williams tries to get a touch, hooked clear by Scott, headed on by Davis again, finds Warren Harris. Harris just plays it into Davis. Little ball in, finds Williams. Williams can turn here and finds Jackman on the overlap. Jackman's just got a lot of work to do to keep that ball in on the far hand side. It would just overrun a little bit, and he slides in to try and hold it up, but it's out for a throw to East Thurrock right by their own corner flag. And it'll be the left back Stephen who comes across to take this throw. He's just waiting for Higgins just to get into a bit of space here. Higgins was the leading scorer for East Thurrock last season, and just come back from his honeymoon. Ball played forwards over the head of Moncourt, comes through to Davis. Davis flicks the ball through. Stephen actually wins the header back, only as far as Davis again, who this time flicks it out, looking for Flood. Flood gets a touch to it, hooked away by Egan, and Nisbet has a lot of time to play it back towards Jack Turner, and the Slough goal has it just a few feet outside of his penalty area. It's a long ball down the field here, looking for the run of Flood, but it's left here by Flood. He thought he had Warren Harris running past him, but the ball just skipped off the ground there and took a bit of pace with it, and it's out of play for a goal kick to the home side, which Giddins will go to take, the goalkeeper. And it's a goal already. It's Eastbourne Borough are losing to St Albans City 1-0. We'll try and keep you up to date as these games goes on, but at the moment 0-0 here at the moment. Ball played forward, looking for Higgins. Higgins does well to actually control the ball and plays it in here too, but it's one back by Slough with Dunn. Dunn plays it into Williams. Williams can't stretch to it, and Scott plays it all the way back towards his goalkeeper. Good afternoon to Michael McGranagan, David Randall and Jim Robertson, who's listening in Plymouth, and there you go. So we'll give you a shout out if you're listening in. Long kick here again by Giddins, looking for Higgins, headed away by Jackman, and Jackman got caught there as he got landed, and the referee has stopped the play here, and Jackman just got caught as Higgins landed on him, and I think that they're just calling the physio on, but he's telling Jackman he's got to go off. Even though Josh hasn't received any treatment, the physio was called on, so the referee has said that he has to leave the pitch, even though he didn't get treatment, but the physio came on. So there you go. Strange decision by the referee, but it's now temporarily down to 10 men here at the moment, and it will be Jack Turner that will take this free kick here for the Rebels. And oh no, the referee doesn't know what he's doing. He's just going to now pick the ball up to allow Jack to take it from wherever he likes, and Turner takes it quickly here, looking for Dunn on the far hand side. It's Harris who heads it straight towards Manny Williams, and Williams on the edge of the box turns as a couple of players here, plays it on the outside here towards Wells. Wells plays it in, and Giddins with the same double save. It's a great double save there by Giddins, and he stops it from Manny Williams. The ball's hooked clear in the end by East Thurrock, but now have 2 shots on target there, and saved by Giddins, and it was a good chance for the Rebels. Ball's here with Davis, plays it across here towards Nisbet, had a couple of players on him, but finds the Slough Town captain, who plays it in towards Dunn. Dunn just cuts inside Danny Harris and gets touched off the ball. The referee says no foul, and it's here with Harris, chased down by Simon Dunn, played down the field here looking for Egan, but Nisbet with the header away. Togwell slips and the ball comes to Monker, and ball comes through to Egan. Egan breaks on the edge of the box. He's got Monker in front of him, plays it in towards Monker. Great defending by Josh Jackman though, who blocks the ball there. And it's a goal-saving challenge by Jackman. And the ball here with Togwell finds Davis. Davis being put under a bit of pressure here from Simmons. It's hooked clear in the end by the goalkeeper Turner. It comes off the head of Jack Stephen for a throw to Slough, 10 yards inside their own half. But Slough just caught there by East Thurrock. But a great challenge by Josh Jackman stops the ball from Monker going goal bound and forcing Turner into a save. But it's 0-0 here with 15 minutes gone of this first half. Josh Jackman just in front of us here just to take this throw. A bit windy here now at the Future Fuel Stadium. Looking for Flood. Flood flicks the ball on, but it comes here towards Lee. Hit clear by Burns, and Higgins tries to flick the ball on here into the path of Marlow. Well read though by George Wells, and he plays it back towards Jack Turner in the Slough goal, who looks to just play the ball quickly here as Flood on the far hand side can't get touch to it. Comes off the head of the centre back Burns, and it'll be a throw to Slough halfway inside the half, and they're going to leave it for Guy Hollis to come across to take as the rain starts to come down here at Rookery Hill, and it's Guy Hollis who's going to take a long throw into the box here. Nisbet has gone forwards for Rebels, on this one. People just starting to put their coats on here as this long throw comes in, aimed towards him. Well headed away though by Burns, only as far as Josh Chapman, who takes it down well, plays it here towards Davis. Davis under pressure though, being forced backwards, and just turns away and plays it back here towards Jack Turner in the Slough goal. Turner has plenty of time on the ball, just 5 yards outside of his penalty area, flicks it out here, looking for the run of Flood. Scott's going to be there first. He wins the header, only as far as Davis. Little cushion ball in towards Warren Harris. Little back forward, trying to find Togwell. Well cleared in the end though by Burns, as the rain is a little bit heavier here at East Thurrock. The ball played out and it's 0-0 here still. Slough with 5 efforts so far in the game, yet to score, but they've had the chances. Gideon's forced into a couple of saves here at the moment, but still 0-0 as Hollis takes this long throw looking for Flood. Flood flicks the ball on and finds Williams. Williams holds it up here and turns away from trouble. Runs down this near hand side and just overruns it. There's a little bit of a slope here that I don't think Slough have picked up on down this right hand side, and it's run out of play for a throw to East Thurrock, which Stevens will take. And the Slough fans hidden underneath that little shelter on the far hand side, trying to make some noise. Stephen with the throw, looking for Higgins. So Higgins holds the ball up well. Looking every time he holds the ball up, he looks for that quick ball out on the far hand side. George Wells is there up against Marlowe, and the ball is squiddled through there to the goalkeeper Turner. And it's here with Jack Turner, who rolls it out here for Mark Nisbet to bring the ball forwards here for Slough. In towards Lee Togwell, back here towards Nisbet. Slough just trying to get their passing game in play here with Wells back towards Nisbet. Nisbet looking for the ball forwards all the time here, and it's Manny Williams who comes deep to get the ball. Mistake by him, but he chases the ball down. Burns gets to it first and plays it back towards Gideons. Gideons' first time clearance only finds Lee Togwell. Cushion header for him, trying to find Flood. Again cleared well by Burns, and Nisbet has to chase this ball back and plays it back towards his goalkeeper. Just puts it wide of Jack Turner, and Turner has to scamper along, but clears the ball for Slough. It's going to be over the head, headed away by Burns. Easy header for him. And Chapman gets there first, but it falls to Egan. Oh, great tackle by Lee Togwell. And the ball here with Hollis. Back in by Davis towards Hollis. Togwell inside the centre circle finds Dunn. Dunn reinforced to bring it down and finds Flood. Flood holds the ball up, lets Wells come down on the left-hand side to bring the ball forwards. Looks to go past Egan, shakes off the challenge. Has Dunn on his outside, hits his cross straight at Danny Harris, and out of play for a throw to the Rebels on the far-hand side. And it's going to be George Wells that will take this throw for the Rebels. Finds Scott Davis, who's holding the ball up, looking for a free kick, and wins the free kick there for a foul on him by Danny Harris, and it's on down the sideline of the 18-yard box, around about 15 yards away from goal, so just outside the edge of that box there. And Scott Davis is the player standing over this free kick here for Slough, and it's a 2-man wall for East Thurrock. As Slough send forwards Nisbet and Hollis for this free kick, and it's played to the edge of the box, looking for Simon Dunn, who hits it hard and low, bounces to Manny Williams, who hits the crossbar from around about 12 yards out. The ball just came to him, he hits it first, he hits it hard, it just went up to the top of the crossbar. Goalkeeper was beaten, but hit the top of the crossbar, bounces over, and it still remains 0-0 here, but Slough in some good form here at the moment. Just can't put the ball in the back of the net, which has maybe been the story of their season this season, as it was different to last season where they were scoring for maybe at will a little bit last season, but a lot bit harder up this harder league. We'll give you some latest scores for you in a second, as this kick now comes long end, aimed towards Higgins, and immediately he looks for the ball on the far hand side, but it's Wells who'll be first to it, beats Marlowe to the ball, goes back towards the goalkeeper Turner, and Turner just inside his 6-yard box gathers the ball at his feet and plays it down the field here, looking for the Flood. Flood will rise, but beaten to the ball by Scott, and the header comes here towards Marlowe, keeps the ball in on that far hand side, closed down by George Wells, and it's in here towards Lee. Lee finds Monco, heavy touch by him, and Togwell chests the ball down and keeps hold of it here for Slough. Inside the centre circle, he's got Davis and Warren Harris in front of him. Finds Scott Davis. Davis now trying to find Warren Harris. It's a ball just a little bit runs too far, but Warren Harris keeps it in. Stephen with a good challenge to win the ball back, and then smacks it clear out of play for a throw to Slough. And Stephen doing well with this battle with Warren Harris. Harris finding a little bit of space, but Stephen, Tom Stephen, sorry, his name is, just chasing him back down. It's a throw here for Slough, 10 yards away from the corner flag. And again, it's Guy Hollis to take this throw for the Rebels. And it's Guy just waiting to giving the ball a bit of a clean here on his t-shirt before putting this long throw in for Slough. And again, long throw into the box. This one's a bit better. Free header almost there. Comes off the head of Scott, actually. Good defensive header by him. And cleared by Egan. It'll be intercepted by George Wells. Heads it in looking for Hollis. Hollis just ducks out of the way. Comes off Tom Stephen last. A throw to Slough down this right-hand side. Again, they're going to leave it for Hollis to take this long throw. The rain has stopped here a little bit as the blue clouds start to come over the pitch here now. And Hollis just looking to take it. This time he throws it to Scott Davis. Back out here towards Hollis. He'll have the chance to put a cross in this time. It's a good cross into the far post. Scott heads the ball away. It comes to Monker on the edge of the box. He holds the ball up and tries to chip it into the path of Danny Harris, but George Wells comes across and plays it in, looking for Manny Williams. Slough just waiting for the ball, and it's intercepted by Marlowe. Marlowe gives a little 1-2 here, trying to chase for Higgins down the field, but it runs all the way through to Jack Turner in the Slough goal. And it's Jack Turner, long kick here by him. Aimed again towards Warren Harris. Harris does well to win the header, and Flood will chase this ball here. And Burns gets there first, but Flood just keeps the ball in for Slough. Warren Harris tries to do the same, but it does in the end, so he go out for a goal kick. Good afternoon to Ben Brandt, who's listening. And it's Slough with the better of these halfway through this first half. They've had the better of the chances here, but hit the crossbar and a couple of saves from the goalkeeper, but as of yet still 0-0 between the two sides. I'll give you the latest scores from some of the National League South games for you in a second. As Higgins tries to win the header, it's won by Togwell towards Nisbet. Rain starts to come down again. Warren Harris flicks the ball on, looking for Flood. Burns with the header away. Stephen then volleys it clear, only as far as Davis, and Davis has got time on the ball here, and he can turn inside the centre circle to find Nisbet, and Nisbet just has time to flick it on. Flood flicks the ball on, trying to find the run of Togwell, and Stephen gets there first towards Gideons. Gideons' clearance is poor though. It skies it to the side off the pitch here, and it'll go out of play for a throw here to Slough, halfway inside the East Thurrock half. And it's going to be Josh Jackman to take this throw for the Rebels. Throws it in here towards Manny Williams. Williams holds the ball up and just turns, just overruns it a little bit there, but one back by Josh Jackman towards Lee Togwell. It's played in there looking for the run. Great challenge there, but in the end by Harry Lee, but his ball forwards is easily headed away by Nisbet, and then Davis for some reason goes back towards his goalkeeper from the halfway line, and it allows Turner just to have the ball here as the rain starts to come across our commentary position, which isn't good for the computers. Long ball played in, looking for Flood, headed away well though by Harris, only as far as Nisbet for Slough. Picks the ball up inside the centre circle. There's time on the ball, chips it forwards, looking for a run. Didn't come, and Danny Harris has to get a second. Oh, Flood gets in there. Oh, it's a good block again though by Giddens, and a mistake there by East Thurrock almost allowed Flood in with a chance there. It was a poor defensive header by Danny Harris. He didn't get the best of touches, went for a second one. It was a poor header. Flood got there before the goalkeeper, but Giddens had spread himself and saved and can clear here, looking for Higgins. Higgins flicking it on, only as far as Jackman though for Slough. He clears, looking for Manny Williams. Williams just crashes into the back of the play there. It's a head injury. The referee said poor touch by Warren Harris. Manny Williams is down, and the referee not blowing his whistle here. Clear head injury here that the referee should blow up for. And the ball's here though with Monker. Monker in towards Simmons. Simmons skips a challenge and another one. Finds the ball here towards Higgins. Higgins tries to cross. It's cleared by Togwell. And then Slough will kick the ball out here. And that's poor refereeing there. But it's a Manny Williams just ran into, it was accidental. He just ran into the shoulder, I think it was, of Lee Burns. Caught him on the face, and it should have been stopped. But the referee... Oh... We've got a winning number on the draw, but he hasn't actually said it yet. 04772. If you have that ticket, then you've won the 50-50 raffle. I haven't got a clue what you've won, because I didn't buy a ticket. But if you're sitting at home with one of those, you've just won something there. I'll give you the latest scores. So we got it. It's fairly not many goals around, actually. Only goals with games in: St Albans 1, Eastbourne Borough 1, Wealdstone 1, Concord Rangers 0, Welling 1, Hemel Hempstead 1, and Woking 0, Truro City 1. Looks like there's a delay in the kick-off between Dulwich and Gloucester. As Manny Williams still getting some treatment here on this near-hand side. And it's Just smack in the face is just being treated by the physio Alex, and so it's just a little break in play here at the moment. 26 minutes of the game gone here. Looks like some of the Slough fans have found that the bar allows you to take the alcohol outside. Williams just about slowly coming to his feet here, and just wondering if Slough are going to warm up a substitute. They're not overly worried at the moment, so it looks as though Manny's going to be okay to continue, but he is going to have to leave the field here, and it will be East Thurrock with the ball, so I think they might just throw this back towards the goalkeeper. It's just starting to rain again here. Strangely enough, the dark clouds are heading in the opposite direction of the ground here, but as of yet it's still raining here. It's not heavy rain, it's light rain, but it's quite angled as Manny Williams comes off the pitch here. And East Thurrock are just being told to play the ball back here towards the Slough Town goalkeeper, and that's what they do. And they get a good round of applause from the fans here as the ball's played back here towards Jack Turner. And Slough will have the ball here with the goalkeeper just on the edge of his penalty area. And Slough back on to 11 men as Manny Williams back on the field as this rain still comes down here. Long kick here by Turner, looking for Flood. Flood trying to flick the ball on. It's actually hit Danny Harris and then hits Flood on the back. Flood still has the ball, tries to play it off Harris, but Harris wins the ball back, and that's a free kick given away there before a foul by Chris Flood. And East Thurrock will slow the game down a little bit here to take this free kick. 0-0 here with 27 minutes gone, and it is the right back Danny Harris with the ball forwards, looking again for Higgins, who flicks the ball on well, but Turner shouts loud enough to come and claim that ball just on the edge of his box, and he'll wait for the Rebels to get further up the field before he takes this kick. And it's again a long kick here, aimed again for Flood up against Harris. It comes off the head of Flood. Williams will chase this one. Scott will get there first, and it comes off it actually comes off Williams last. It's out for a goal kick here to goal kick to East Thurrock. My apologies. So I was just trying to see what was going on with someone walking past, and apparently you can't take alcohol past a certain point by the looks of it, but there you go. We're waiting for Giddens to take this goal. Slough fans just finding their voice here behind the goal in the little mini stand on that right hand side, just covering from the rain. As we wait for Giddens to take this goal kick. This time it's a better goal kick by him, aimed towards Higgins. Scott Davis with the header for Slough. It will come through to Dunn, who gets a touch to it. Breaks here to Manny Williams. Williams now can charge forwards for Slough. Just being challenged by Lee. Plays the ball forwards. It's got too much on it, and it's easily taken by Giddens in the East Thurrock goal. And Slough just overrunning their passes. Quickly thrown out here towards Moncur. Moncur back here towards Burns and back towards the goalkeeper Giddens. He's going to be chased down by Manny Williams, who not the best clearances. It finds Egan, but his header only hits Scott Davis. Flipped on by Flood on the far hand side. It's Tom Stevens, to clear the ball. And Nisbet with a clear foul there. The referee says play on, but he's going to bring it back for a foul there by Nisbet. And a poor challenge there by the Slough Town captain. Quickly taken by Higgins. He's miles in the wrong place, and that'll be called back by the referee. And it's going to be a free kick for East Thurrock just inside the Slough Town half. Sorry, this is actually just inside their own half, the referee's put it, which is a bit strange, but there you go, that's what he's done. Quickly taken here by Burns. It's flicked on by Higgins on the far hand side. Took over the header for Slough, and Davis, he makes a mistake here. The ball comes through to Warren Harris, who's first there instead of Moncur, and Warren Harris clears, but the ball will be back won by Tom Stephen here, the left back. Crosses the ball in, flicked on by Egan to the far post, headed away by Dunn, and it will come through to Lee. Lee with a cushion header finds Egan. Egan trying to find on the far hand side Marlowe. Challenges coming in, but hooked clear by Warren Harris, of all people, in the centre back position, and Slough have managed to clear the ball, but it's still here with East Thurrock. Poor touch though, gives the ball back to Scott Davis, here with Simon Dunn. Dunn plays it in towards Williams. Williams just has to hold the ball up here and then spreads it well here towards Warren Harris. Harris takes his eye off the ball, goes through his legs and out of play for a throw to the home side. Hampton and Richmond have just gone a goal up at Torquay United. Torquay 0, Hampton 1. The rain still coming down, a little bit lighter now, and it will be Tom Stephen, the left back, to take this throw for East Thurrock. Just waiting for a bit of movement Here is his throw comes in, easy header for Warren Harris, flicked away though by Egan, comes through towards Scott Davis, just loops the ball up high, looking over the head of Burns. Burns gets a good challenge to it, and it's flicked on again by Stephen, the right left back. Head come off the head of Simmons. Togwell gets a touch to it, and it's picked up here by Scott Davis for Slough. 5 yards inside his own half, looking to play the ball forward, runs with the ball forwards this time, and then poor ball intercepted by Danny Harris, and it finds Marlow, little 1-2 by them. And back here with Marlow down the right hand side, in towards Moncur, finds Lee. Lee immediately under pressure from Flood, and it has to go back towards the goalkeeper Giddins, who's been the busier of the two goalkeepers so far. Ball played forwards, free header for Nisbet, finds Davis. Davis mishits his clearance, but Togwell will get there first, and but it's intercepted by Harry Lee. Ball played over the top here, looking for the run of Simmons, and Hollis clears for Slough. Togwell can't flick it on. Stephen with the ball forwards here. Underneath it is Josh Jackman, whose header will be kept in by Warren Harris, but only as far as Egan. Egan's ball in towards Lee. That is closed down by Manny Williams. Ball over the top here, and Slough looking for an offside that doesn't come, and it's kept in by Higgins. Finds Simmons. Higgins takes a cross shot, headed away well by Mark Nisbet, and under pressure there's a soft foul. That is never a foul there by Higgins, but the referee's given it. It's a free kick to Slough, and that means it averts the danger a little bit here for the home wayside. And it's Jack Turner that will take this free kick here for Slough. And his ball looking for Simon Dunn, who's got time. I said he got time to control it. Took his eye off the ball, lets it run past him. That's two Slough players that have done that in the short space of time here at the moment. And not good for either side at the moment. Still 0-0 here between the two. Headed away by Slough. Comes through to Moncur, who does well to keep it in, but Wells volleys it away for Slough. And it's out of play for a throw on that far hand side to East Thurrock United. Around about 15 yards inside the Slough half. Referee just saying the right back Danny Harris. There's a Warren Harris and a Danny Harris obviously. Ben Harris is away, so that makes life a little bit easier. Danny Harris with this throw. It's an easy header there for Simon Dunn, but Monco tries to get there, and leaves there first for East Thurrock. Plays the ball in, and Dunn and Harris challenge, but it's played by Togwell. It's a poor ball by him, goes straight out of play and out for a throw to East Thurrock United. 33 minutes gone here at the Rookery Hill, or the Future Fuel Stadium, as we give it its full name. 0-0 between the two sides. Now I've had 7 attempts on goal so far, but they've hit the crossbar, and Giddins has been equal to a couple of good saves. A good double save that he made early in the game. Throw comes in from Danny Harris, and it's played back by Marlow, but it's going to run all the way through to Jack Turner. All those dark clouds have disappeared, and the rain has stopped, and we've got sunshine. Well, kind of sunshine. It's slightly overcast at the moment, but cloudy, I should say, not overcast. Ball's here with Jack Turner in the Slough goal, who looks to play again, looking for Wells, who's popped up on the left-hand side. Wells takes it down on his chest here and looks to play the ball in. It's played in on flow here towards Warren Harris, who's in the central position. His shot is really well blocked by Burns. Headed away, only as far as Josh Jackman, who can control the ball and looks for Manny Williams, but Tom Stevens in there first to claim the ball, and it's a throw here to the Rebels. Josh Jackman comes across to take this. Quick throw in here towards Guy Hollis. Back here towards Josh Jackman. Played back here towards Jack Turner, and Turner has time to control the ball, and again looks on the far hand side, looking for the run of Wells, who's further forward here. Great header there, headed away though by Harris. Comes here towards Dunn. His header will try and find Wells, but defended well by Marlow. And Egan tries to get a touch to a handball there by Scott Davis. It's a free kick to East Thurrock. I forgot what was going on. I was just saying that I think he's having a word with Simon Dunn for some reason, the referee here. The ball's just been kicked at the referee. But it's a free kick given away, and it's for an accidental handball, but it stopped the ball from moving away, so the referee 100% right with that decision. And it's going to be Ryan Scott, the centre-back, to take this free kick. Everyone inside the Slough half, apart from his centre-back partner Burns and the goalkeeper. Ball played in, headed away by Nisbet. Hooked away though by Warren Harris. Finds Manny Williams. Takes the ball down well. Tries under a bit of pressure. Gives the ball away though on the far hand side. It's here with Marlow. Marlow's got Danny Harris on the overlap. Egan's there as well, but Manny Williams has come across. Harris has got there first and won the ball. Ball in towards Egan. Takes it away from play. Moncur crosses the ball in, and the goalkeeper comes out. And he just catches it low to his hands and looks to play it quickly here. And Warren Harris can't get to the ball. Tom Stephen heads it back towards the goalkeeper Giddins, and has now given the ball away there No need to take that so quickly. Ball's here with Harry Lee. He has plenty of time on the ball and plays it forward here. Josh Jackman comes off the back of his head, clears the ball, looking for Warren Harris. Lee's there first, only as far as Davis, who gives the ball away, and it's here with Simmons. Simmons back in towards Lee. Lee will spread it on the far hand side, looking for Marlowe. Marlowe does well to take the ball down out of the air and turns, finds Danny Harris, the right back. Plays it in the first time. Oh, Egan with a flying header. He just couldn't direct it goalwards. It's well off target. Good play though on the far hand side by East Thurrock. But unfortunately for them, it fell to Egan a little bit behind him. He tried to direct his header, but it's well wide of the goal. But some good play by the home side there. And Slough just got to be a bit careful here. They're I'm not sure if they're playing 4-3-3 or 4-4-2 with Simon Dunn on the left hand side, but it does look as though Slough aren't spreading the ball across the midfield four as they maybe would do normally. Long kick here by Turner. Warren Harris has gone into a central position here. Togwell heads the ball the wrong way. Nisbet calls for the ball, heads it on. Togwell just shields the ball and has come here towards Dunn, who's in a central position, and Slough have lost the ball back here. Monker has won it for East Thurrock, paid by Danny Harris in towards Higgins. Little 1-2 off Nisbet. Chips the ball forward, way off target there, and I think that was supposed to be a cross, but out of play. And it's a goal kick here for Slough. We'll try and keep you up to date. Will Stone still leading Concord Rangers 1-0. And we'll give you the half-time scores and stuff. Obviously at half-time. And we've got a half-time quiz. Don't forget the half-time quiz. Jack Turner with this ball played forward. So Warren Harris, it looks like he's playing a centre of a free striker formation. Lost the ball though. Davis has won it back here towards Williams. Oh, Williams turns really well. Has a chance to look at the ball. Plays it in. Headed away by Scott. Should really have maybe had a shot there. Ball's gone out of play here for a throw to Slough. It does look as though Warren Harris is sometimes coming into a centre position here when the ball's played forwards. And the ball's here with Jack Turner, looking to find Wells on the far hand side. Danny Harris is underneath. Oh, heads it the wrong way. Finds Flood in towards Williams. Back here towards Flood. Flood into the box. Trying to dink it in towards Williams. It's got too much on it. And it's easily saved here. Slough just not putting their passes together here at the moment. And although they're playing some good football, it's just no end productive these last maybe 10-15 minutes. They've not really had much of a chance. As Giddens takes this kick here from his hands, aimed again towards Higgins, who just comes charging into the back. A little kick there as well though by Higgins on Togwell. It's a free kick here towards Slough. And Higgins just putting his weight around here. Let's just say he's come back from honeymoon, maybe a little bit bigger. Ball towards Warren Harris. Ball intercepted though by Stephen in, and Warren Harris chases the ball back here from Lee. Back here though towards Stephen. Back in towards Lee, who plays it forward. It is flicked on here to Simmons. Simmons breaks down onto goal. Plays it. Oh, great challenge though by Mark Nisbet on his 100th game for the Rebels. Sterling challenge there by the captain from Slough. Got back into position as Simmons tried to play the ball across to Marlowe on the far hand side, but intercepted well by the Slough captain. It's a good challenge. And the ball ends up in the hands of Jack Turner in the Slough goal. He just drops it on the edge of his penalty area here. And he looks to play this ball again down this left hand side. Flood this time flicking the ball on, trying to find Williams. Intercepted well by Lee. Hay played forwards here by Danny Harris. Harris's ball headed away by Nisbet. Kept in by Simon Dunn. Played away by George Wells. In towards Flood. Flood trying to find it in towards Manny Williams, but Scott will go back towards the goalkeeper Giddens, and Giddens has plenty of time here to just play the ball outside of his penalty area 5 yards, and then looks for the ball on the far hand side, looking for Marlowe. Marlowe needs to be about as tall as Peter Crouch to get that. He's not that tall. And Wells will have the throw for Slough, just gaining a few yards there, trying to find Chris Flood, and Flood can't keep the ball in. Comes off Flood last. It's a throw to East Thurrock. The referee lines, we're not sure who that last one came off, but it's a throw here to the home side on the far hand side, halfway inside their own half. Still 0-0 here as we're into the last 5 minutes of normal time. There'll be added time on for that injury to Manny Williams. As Danny Harris plays this throw in, flicked on well by Marlowe in towards Higgins. Higgins little back heel, looking for the run of Moncur, but Davis comes across to play it back towards Jack Turner and plays it in, looking for Flood. Flood and Danny Harris challenging with the ball. It's gone over the top of everyone, out of play for a throw. Oh, it's a throw again for East Thurrock on that far hand side. Concord Rangers have equalised against Wealdstone. And Wells wins the header for Slough. Floods underneath it and can control the second header and plumps down this left hand side. Got two players on him. Skips past both of them well. Gets to the byline here. And I just gets it's well defended there by Danny Harris. And it's out of play for a goal kick. And still 0-0 here between the two sides. Slough had the better of the opportunities, but still no ball in the back of the net here at Rookery Hill. And it's going to be Gideons to take this goal kick to get this restarted here once he's adjusted his gloves and come across. And again, played well towards Higgins. Higgins has got two players on him, and it's a free kick this time given away by Slough. Two players holding Higgins, and the referee just slowing the game down for this free kick. 10 yards inside the Slough Town half, taken quickly. And there's someone shouting, is a East Thurrock coach that you picked up there. The ball's here with Monco, tries to play in Marlow. Marlow does well to keep the ball in, and then looks to come back in and play the ball in. Headed away though by Nisbet, only as far as Lee. Lee just can't get the best of headers there, and Togwell heads it back straight up in the air, and then gets a second chance to head. The ball bouncing around here with Monco. Skips past the challenge. Now win the ball back here with Davis and Dunn. The ball played for was aimless ball. Paul was followed by Slough, and it's going to be Burns who has plenty of time to control that one and plays it down the field long here, looking for Higgins, but he's way out of position. Headed away by Hollis, trying to find Dunn. Dunn's little header hooked away though by Burns again, this time looking for Josh Jackman under pressure. He heads the ball away well. Nisbet then flicks it on. It'll come here towards Scott Davis, who just waits, and that means that Stephen can get there first, but Togwell flicks the ball on for Slough. Two Slough players go for the same ball. Comes here towards Scott, played out here towards Stephen. Warren Harris will close the ball down. Played in, and Warren Harris catches Stephen here down this near hand side, and he's going to get a talking to here by the referee. Could be the first yellow card of the afternoon. And Tom Stephen just down injured here, just stretching his leg at the moment. And the referee, Mr. Packman, not Packman as in the game, I think he's got a K in his name, so it's quite almost appropriate really, because you've got a team in yellow and a team in blue. It's like Pac-Man versus the Coast, isn't it really? That's how interesting it is today here. So free kick here though for the home side. Giddens has come to take this halfway inside his own half. And long ball forwards again, aimed towards Higgins. Higgins goes down really easy this time. Slough the ball with Togwell. Oh, lovely ball over the top here. Flood will try and chase it. Giddens will get there first. He hooks that into a different county. And I think Higgins is going to get a yellow card here for dissent. The referee has told him to. He's not going to get a card, but Higgins went down looking for a free kick though. He didn't get it. He's obviously said something to the referee, and the referee just having a word with him. As now baked in glorious sunshine. Glorious sunshine here at the Future Fuel Stadium, and Slough will have a throw. That Guy Hollis has gone to take. Ball played into the box. Weasley headed away well by Burns. And Higgins tries to hold it and show his pace here, but Josh Jackman's there to hold him up. Jackman slips. Higgins chips the ball again. He looks for that ball every time on the far hand side towards Marlow. Marlow up against Warren Harris, and the ball's played in. Togwell has plenty of time for Slough to win the ball. Finds Warren Harris. He hits it at time and done his own play, but Warren Harris gets there first. Under pressure from Monco. Plays it off Monco, and then George Wells is the player that comes across to smash that ball down the field. Scott pulled back header here, but will it just about reach the goalkeeper? It does. And he rolls it out here towards Tom Stephen, the left back. Got his name right for the first time today. And chipped the ball again here, looking for Higgins. It's he's gone down again as the number 9. It's cleared though by Josh Jackman, looking for Manny Williams. Easily headed away by Burns. It will come through to Davis. Davis trying to let the ball go out of play for a throw, and tries to get Slough on the attack. Stephen though heads the ball away. Comes off the head of Davis last. It's a throw here to the home side. They're just slow in taking this throw, and they're going to take their time. The referee's been drawn to the fact that there's an injury on the far hand side to Danny Harris, the right back. But he's going to just get on with it, really. He's just putting his boot on now. He's just said he's fine. The referee's telling Stephen to get on with it. He's waiting for his right back to get on. His foot on. His foot on. And the referee is telling East Thurrock to get on with it because Danny Harris has said he's just putting a boot on. Ball played in again, looking for Higgins, headed away by Warren Harris, but Egan's won it back here, shoots from distance, and it's a good shot, but it's well wide of the goal, and it's out for a goal kick to the Rebels here. And that's gone over the top, and this bloke's running off to go and get that ball. That's way over into some kind of field on the far hand side. Just wait for a ball to come back on here. So 0-0 was we're into added time here of the first half. Darren Banyard wants to know, it's 0-0, mate. 0-0's the score. Slough have had 7 efforts to 3, and they've hit the crossbar and some good goalkeeping. And it's Turner Disco, and it's half time. There you go. He's actually played it. I don't know how he's worked out half time. He's played 46 minutes and 46 seconds, but that is apparently half time at Rookery Hill. So there you go. I can tell you that it's 7 fouls to 6 to East Thurrock. There's only been 1 corner in the entire game, which East Thurrock have had. But Slough have had 7 shots in the game, but unfortunately they haven't managed to do anything with it so far. And it is 0-0 here at Rookery Hill. And Slough will be disappointed that their final touches into the final third and one-on-one with the ref goalkeepers has not been the best. Williams has been denied by a really fine save by the goalkeeper Giddens after it saved from George Wells' shot, and the rebound was well saved by the goalkeeper from Manny Williams. But it's 0-0 here. Slough with the better of the chances, but it's not been the greatest of games that you'll ever see here, but there you go. We've got a half-time quiz for you as well. I do have to say, as it's half-time, because I know that my other half is listening. She was the reason why we weren't here last week, so if you do ever want to have a go at her, if she ever comes to a game, please feel free to have a go. But she is in hospital, and we do send her all our best. We might even pop around and visit later if she's lucky. Or maybe not. We won't go that far, would we? But there you go. So good afternoon to my other half who's in hospital at the moment, and I'm sure she's listening in, annoying everyone else by shouting at the radio or phone or whatever it is that she's got listening to. We'll give you some half-time scores for you, but our half-time quiz for today is a football in film related quiz for you today. As I did, this is last week's quiz, which I did for the Torquay game but didn't go to. So there you go. So you can just put your answers either on Twitter or on the comment section. 4 questions for you. Who played Don Revie in the film Damned United? So that's who played Don Revie in the film Damned United. Sean Bean, Emily Lloyd and Pete Postlethwaite appeared in which football film? So that's Sean Bean, Emily Lloyd, Pete Postlethwaite. What was that football film they were in? Nice and easy one for you. Ricky Tomlinson played the role of which England manager? Fictional England manager, I should say. Ricky Tomlinson played the role of which fictional England manager? And the last one, you get a point. You don't get a prize, obviously, but if you get it right, you need to have the title and the little bit that comes after it, because there was more than one of these films made, so that's going to give it away. Which film was about a young South American footballer who signed for Newcastle United? So which film was about a young South American footballer who signed for Newcastle United? So there's a title to that, but there's a little bit that's added on because they made more than one. So if you can do all of those, then you'll get we'll give you a shout. We ain't got no prizes. Might have to steal something from the club shop one day and just send that to you. But yeah, that's I don't steal it, obviously. I'd pay for it, really. But yeah, so there you go. So we'll give you the half-time scores here at the moment in a second. But that's your half-time quiz, and we'll get to that. Good afternoon to Kathleen Porter from sunny Devon. She said, "Signal goes when I take you in the garden." I'd rephrase that one sometimes, but there you go. It says, "Repeat score often, please." There's not much of a score to repeat at the moment, so but we'll bear that in mind, Kathleen. Thank you very much for listening in. And her son is the general manager, John Porter, who's in Jamaica. at the moment. He's definitely been listening. He's must be sunning himself as or getting drunk as it is. So we'll give you the half-time scores that we can find for you this afternoon in the National League South. We'll avoid the Premier League because obviously match of the day is on, and I know some of you like to watch that without knowing the scores. So there you go. I can tell you that Slough will stay in 9th position as the scores are in the other game. It's Chelmsford City 1, Bath City 0, Chippenham 0, Billericay 0. We haven't got a score so far from Dulwich versus Gloucester. It's Hungerford 0, Dartford 0, St Albans 1, Eastbourne Borough 1, Torquay 0, Hampton and Richmond 1, Wealdstone 1, Concord Rangers 1. It's Welling 1, Hemel Hempstead 1, Weston-super-Mare 0, Oxford City 0, Woking 0, Truro 1. So there you go, no change to the table for Slough. As at the moment as it stands, they will be in 9th position. And we're just watching here, there's a few other people here. BBC Essex are sat next to us. Just with score updates, which is very short. Very interesting to see that the two managers for Slough are already back out. They've obviously had their say. The Slough subs are warming up with Tom Sawes in goal there, and to much delight to the Slough fans who are over there. So just going to find you some more non-league scores for you from the National League. I can tell you that Maidenhead United got their first points of the season earlier in the televised game. They beat Maidstone United 3-2. In the National League, it's Barrow 1, Braintree 0, Borehamwood 0, FC Halifax 0, Chesterfield 0, Barnet 0, Dagenham Redbridge 1, Hartlepool 0, Dover 0, Eastleigh 2, Ebbs Fleet United 1, Aldershot 1, Gateshead 0, Leighton Orient 0, Harrogate 1, Solihull Moors 1, Hampton Waterloo 1, Salford City 1, Sutton United 0, AFC Fylde 0, Wrexham 1, Bromley 0. That's your National League. And in the National League North, it's AFC Telford 2, Chester 0, Blyth 0, Chorley 0, Boston United 0, Spennymoor Town 1, Brackley 0, York 0, Kirsten Ashton 1, Kidderminster 0, Darlington 0, Altrincham 1, FC United of Manchester 0, Leamington 1, Guiseley 0, Nuneaton Borough 1, Hereford 0, Bradford Park Avenue 1, Southport 0, Ashton United 2, and Stockport 0, Alfreton 1. That means there's only 2 victories at home in those leagues. It is FA Cup day as well. It's the preliminary round. Slough will join in on the second qualifying round, as I should say. So that'll be on the 22nd of September, I do believe. But the other games are on now, and some of our teams in the local area are in this. Some of them haven't actually had to do it. So, we'll just see if we can find you some scores involving Beaconsfield 2, Uxbridge 0. Just we're not far from this. Brentwood Town 0, Sporting Bengal 1. Hayes and Yedding are 3-0 up at Brimscombe and Thorpe, I should say. Cheltenham Sporting 0, London Lions 0. And we've got what else we find there for you. Greenwich Borough 1, Lancing 3. Lancing we played a few years ago in the FA Cup. It's Haverhill Rovers 1, Malden and Tiptree, which we went to last season, 1. We're trying to find some scores. Kidlington 0, Marlow 1. We've said that Kidlington in midweek lost to Bromsgrove Sporting, which is the reefing of Bromsgrove after they collapsed. And Bromsgrove won 11-0 in midweek. Kidlington only losing 1-0 at the moment to Marlow. Molesey 0, Lewis 0 in the FA Cup. Northwood 1, Long Levens 0. And there you go, that's just some of Walton Casuals 1, that's around the corner from me. Walton Casuals 1, Shoreham 0, that's the latest score in the half time. So there you go, those are the scores for you. Just remember your up and coming games for the Rebels. We have on Bank Holiday Monday, Slough will be at home to Dulwich United. That's a 3 o'clock kick-off, so please be aware that Dulwich do like to bring a few fans as well, so get there early to make sure you get a good position. But it's that's the Monday game. That's Bank Holiday Money Day. Then next Saturday, Slough come to Essex again as they're away to Chelmsford City. Dulwich 0, Gloucester City 0 is a half-time score. And then Slough will be at home on the 8th of September at home to Oxford City. Those are your up-and-coming games for the Rebels. So there you go. Just so you've got those there. It says, hi Aid, Paul and Claire listening from sunny Spain this afternoon. That's the Phoenix Royal Rebels. Good afternoon, welcome. Tequila Shark has had a go at our quiz, and he's got he's got 3 of them right, but the last one, he hasn't got the exact title. As far as I know, that's not the exact title. But your halftime quiz was who played Don Revie in the film Damned United. Sean Bean, Emily Lloyd, Peter Postlethwaite appeared in which football film? Ricky Tomlinson was played the role of which fictional England manager, and which film was about a young South American who signed for Newcastle United. It's you're not far off there, Tequila. You just got to get that one, and then I think that it's the last bit of the other bit that you've got. It might be right, it might be wrong, I don't know. I just took it off IMDb, so maybe I'm wrong, who knows, but there you go. Just watching the Slough subs warm up at the moment. Don't look like they're going to call anyone in. The Slough Town joint managers have been sat in the dugout for a fair few minutes, and they're obviously had their say of what they've seen in this first half, and no different, no one joined. No one seems to be ready to come on, so it doesn't look like there'll be a half-time substitution for the Rebels this afternoon. And we'll keep our eye out as well on the Tides as they come out for the start of the second half, which should be in around about 3 or 4 minutes. Slough haven't actually beaten East Thurrock United in the last 4 meetings. In fact, East Thurrock have won all the last 4 meetings between these sides. Slough had won the previous 2, but as of yet it's 0-0, and it's at least the clouds have disappeared here, or the dark black clouds I say have disappeared here this afternoon, so there you go. So it's not that bad over here. And Will Reese said, hello Aid, come on you Rebels. Hope your partner is okay. She is okay. She's still in hospital. She has just sent me a message to say that she'll be staying in again this evening, unfortunately. But she's okay. She's all right in herself. But thank you all for asking. Thank you to everyone who sent messages last Saturday. Obviously, it was quite busy, so we didn't reply to them. But thank you to everyone who sent messages either on Twitter or through other social media things to ask how things were. But yes, thank you very much for that. And we're going to wait for the start of the second. I'm still waiting for some players to come out here at the moment. We'll give you the half-time quiz for you. Just in case if you're not a member of the 500 Club, then please feel free to do so. So every month, Slough, what you do is you send your bank details off to someone at Slough. We'll take a £5 out of your bank details every month, and all goes into a draw, and that draw is made. So the July results were already out, and so big wins in the July one. You could win up to 240 quid, I think was the score for the first one. Slough players just coming out now for the start of the second half here, and we'll just keep an eye out on the substitutions, if any have arrived. The Rebels just coming out. John Underwood's just coming and chatting to some of the Slough Town players here at the moment. Tom Saw's just come past our commentary position here. Tom on the bench this afternoon. No, it's not Tom Saws, is it? It's Louis Saws. Tom Saws is the other player. Louis Saws. We just called him Tom. I hope he's not sore about that. So So Slough players are most of them are back out for the start of this second half. I'm going to tell you the. I've lost the cursor on the screen. Where'd it go? Anyone see it? Oh, there it is. I've got it. Don't worry. Calm down. I've got it. I've got it. We're all right. We're safe. We're safe. Right. So East Thurrock are just starting to come out now as well. The rest of the Slough players. Keep an eye out on any substitutions. Let's just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11. So Slough are unchanged, so that's Jack Turner in goal, 2 Josh Jackman, 3 George Wells, 4 Guy Hollis, 5 is the captain Martin Nisbet on his 100th appearance for the Rebels, 6 is Lee Togwell, 7 Scott Davies, 8 Simon Dunn, 9 Manny Williams, 10 Chris Flood, 11 Warren Harris. Substitutes that the Rebels can choose from are 12 Sean Fraser, 14 Sam Togwell, 15 James Dobson, 16 Louis Hawes and 17 Perry Coles. Let's just have a look for the home side. East Thurrock United, no changes for them, so their side is Jack Giddens in goal, 2 Danny Harris, 3 Tom Stephen, 4 Freddie Moncur, 5 Ryan Scott, 6 is Lee Burns, 7 Ben Marlowe, 8 Harry Lee, 9 Sam Higgins, 10 is Alfie Egan, 11 Jack Simmons. Then substitutes are 12 Lewis Knight, 14 Tom Derry, 15 is Danilo Orsi Dodomo, and 16 is Gabe Kellam. We are about to start the second half here. Slough will be shooting from right to left. And hopefully we'll have some goals in this second half for you this afternoon. But Manny Williams standing over this free kick for free kick. What do you call it? Kickoff for the Rebels. As the Slough drinkers are just making their way round. It's Slough with the ball here with Scott Davies. Plays here looking for Chris Flood. Danny Harris has headed it away into the path of Marlowe. Marlowe flicks the ball on back into the centre, flicked on by Egan towards Moncur. Moncur on the halfway line. Bow all over the top there, looking for Simmons. Simmons' ball hits Josh Jackman, and Jackman does well to get the ball first, but Simmons gets a touch to it. It comes off a Slough play. It's out a throw for a throw to East Thurrock on the far head side, 10 yards inside the Slough half. Tom Stephen, the left back, with this. Quick throw in towards Lee, easily hammered clear by Davis. Flood gets a touch to the header, but headed on by Burns, only as far as Togwell. Togwell in towards Davis, back here towards Togwell. Togwell's ball trying to find through. It's hit Burns and stopped dead, and then Burns chases it out towards Tom Stephen down the left-hand side. He just plays the ball down the field. Sun just comes out a little bit there, just blinding Guy Hollis, but the ball runs through to Jack Turner in the Slough goal. And Turner just has Higgins in front of him, but just plays a long ball down the field over the head of everyone, comes towards Warren Harris up against Stephen. Warren Harris beaten to the ball by Stephen, who can hook the ball clear down the field here. Higgins is in offside position, so he just stands there, and the ball's won back here by Guy Hollis. And Hollis just waiting for a bit of movement, plays it in here towards Flood. Flood, little cushion ball to Warren Jackman. Jackman trying to release the ball here for Warren Harris to chase. Tom Stevens there and has to cut the ball out. It's a throw to the Rebels on the far hand side, 5 yards away from the corner flag. And Slough just moving the ball forwards nicely here in the second half, and it's going to be Guy Hollis going forwards for this throw. Nisbet moves forwards for the Rebels here. I'll give you the answer to half-time quiz, which I've forgotten to do so far, as we wait for Guy Hollis to come across to take. I just realised there's no actual gate or fence around that side. That's a bit strange, but there you go. It's going to be Guy Hollis with this long throw into the box on the far hand side. Play the ball in. Flood can't get to it. Bounces over the head of everyone. It will come through here towards Marlowe, who has time to clear the ball. His clearance only finds Wells. Wells takes it down, just overruns the ball, and it's won back here by Egan in towards Higgins. Higgins trying to find the ball to Simmons, but Guy Hollis is there for Slough, and it's a free kick given there by the referee for a foul by Jack Simmons on Guy Hollis. And it's thrown in here by it's a free kick. I was going to say it was a free kick, and then Slough took a throw, but there you go. We'll give you that half-time quiz answers in a second. Tequila Shark almost had them. Long ball forward here for Jack Turner over the head of Chris Flood. Smashed clear by the left-back Stephen. Hollis just shrugs Higgins off the ball and chases it back here towards the goalkeeper Turner. Turner just has the ball outside of his box here. Cuts inside. Plays the ball down the field here. Looking for Flood against Tom Stephen, does well in the left back position to play the ball. It's out of play for a throw though to the Rebels. Halfway inside the East Thurrock half. Still 0-0. And it's going to be Josh Jackman to take this throw for Slough. Slough just lacking a bit of movement here at the moment. And it comes from Lee Togwell in the end, down the right hand side. Togwell trying to go past, it's well defended, and now to play for a goal kick. So the answers to the quiz that we gave you, so 4 answers you were looking for. The answer was, questions were, who played Don Reilly in the film Damned United? That was Cole Meany. You know him from Con Air and a few other things. Sean Bean, Emily Lloyd, P. Poswaite were in the film When Saturday Comes. Mike Bassett was the role played by Ricky Tomlinson. And the football film was Goal, The Dream Begins. And I think Tequila Shark said The Journey Begins. But Slough have lost the ball here. And it's here with Marlowe. Marlowe halfway inside the Slough half. Plays it in, or a little bit behind Egan, but he does well to win the ball, but it's well blocked. It comes back out to him. And he plays it here towards the left-back Stephen. Oh, intercepted by Lee Togwell. And Togwell just back heels. It puts Jackman under a little bit of pressure, but it's cleared by Slough. Comes off the head of Burns, and it's a throw to the Rebels. Halfway inside the East Thurrock half. Still 0-0 here. And Slough looked to take it quickly, but the referee has said that that's a good 10 yards in front of where it should be. And it will be a throw here for Slough, which Josh Jackman will go across to take. In towards Warren Harris. Harris has time to turn. Finds Simon Dunn. More central position for Dunn. Here towards Togwell. Across his first time. Ball bouncing around inside the box. It's cleared by Scott. So he got caught there. And the clearance only finds Nisbet. Here towards Togwell. Finds Hollis. Hollis with the ball forwards. Again intercepted by the left back Stephen, who's had a very good game for East Thurrock. Ball here for Egan to chase. Hollis has come across to see it out. And does really well. And the two of them have just gone down in the corner. But out for a goal kick. And Scott just shaking that injury off the centre back, just holding his hip a little bit here. And it'll be a goal kick here for Jack Turner to take here towards Nisbet. Nisbet will bring the ball in towards Davis. Davis is closed down by Moncur, but has time to play the ball. And again, he looks for that Hollywood pass. It's not anywhere near the play. It goes all the way through to Giddins in the East Thurrock goal. And the goalkeeper plays this ball into this now sunny blue sky, flicked on here by Higgins, and Jack Turner will be first to the ball there, and Moncur just runs into Turner, just trying to wind him up a little bit there, but it's Turner with the ball at his feet, just a few yards outside of his penalty area. Plays the ball long here down the field, looking for Flood. Flood trying to hold the ball up here with the ball. It's Simmons who gets a touch inside. It's cleared well though by Lee over the top. Higgins is offside. He's interesting to see how long he lasts. It's his first game of the season today. He's missed pre-season through his wedding. Flicked on here by Flood. Tom Stevens with the ball. And Burns got caught there by Flood. And that's a free kick to East Thurrock. Foul by Chris Flood. I think he's just saying to Burns, just went for the ball. But there you go. It's a free kick here given by the referee. And Tequila Shark. The movie was a journey. Well, it wasn't the best. I think Goal 2 with David Beckham shows you just how bad that film series was, that you needed to get Real Madrid and David Beckham involved. We're waiting for Giddins to take this free kick here for East Thurrock. Long ball played in here. Tumble in the box there on the edge of the box. Come through here towards Davis. Davis flicks the ball forward. Poor ball by him. Comes out here and Dunn tries to win the ball here against Danny Harris. He plays the ball forwards. Well, headed away by Wells. Manny Williams just uses his body there to foul. And it's a free kick here to East Thurrock. I think Slough maybe will put a change on sometime soon up front. We're going to leave this free kick here for Ryan Scott, the centre back, to take. It's a couple of feet inside the Slough Town half. And Scott just hammers this ball all the way down towards Jack Turner. Let's just say that you hopefully wouldn't have picked that up on the microphones, but Mr. Scott wasn't too impressed with the movement of his team there. Ball here thrown out towards George Wells. Played in towards Davies. Finds Dunn. Dunn just plays in behind Scott, Manny Williams, and the ball here chasing for Higgins to chase. Higgins up against Hollis. Oh, Hollis has gone down in the box. And Higgins is there to shoot. Oh, he's blazed it well wide of the goal. And that should have been a good effort for East Thurrock. But Higgins belying his size there. Good chase down for that ball there but his shot was well wide of the goal. And you're going to see a substitution on the far hand side. It's Manny Williams is the play going off, and coming on is Perry Coles. And that substitution is on 53 minutes or 54 minutes, we'll call that 54. So Perry Coles on for Manny Williams. And Coles will join Flood up front. And so I'll take this free kick short here towards Mark Nisbet. Nisbet again looking for someone to play. Comes to Simon Dunn. Back here towards Nisbet. Nisbet down the line towards Wells. Oh, back heels it into the path of Dunn. Dunn trying to keep the ball in on this left-hand side. Does well to keep it in. Plays it into the box, but it's intercepted by Lee. Hooked clear by Scott. Only as far as Nisbet. Nisbet's header finds Simon Dunn. It's just a cushion ball, a little bit behind Scott Davis, and he goes back towards Jack Turner in the Slough goal. And Turner just playing the ball down the field here, looking for Perry Coles. Comes off the head of Scott and finds the left back George Wells. Wells crosses first time. It's too close to the goalkeeper though, but it's good defending by the goalkeeper. Good position. And it's still 0-0 here with 8 minutes gone of this second half. And the best chance of this second half has gone to East Thurrock, but still 0-0. As Giddens takes this long kick down the field, it's headed away by Hollis towards Nisbet. Finds the ball in towards Dunn. Dunn's got a bit of time on the ball here, but finds Scott Davies. Davies to the left back Wells. Wells looking for the run of Dunn. Dunn comes down this left hand side. Cole just hits it straight down. And Cole's trying to chase the ball here. He chases it here. It goes back towards Giddens under pressure from Flood. Plays the ball long down the field. Egan will chase this one with Hollis, but it bounces through towards Turner in the Slough goal. And it's Turner flicking the ball out here, looking for Flood. Flood and Harris challenge. It's come through to Davis. He's trying to play the ball forwards. Flicked on here by Marlowe, but again it goes back towards the Slough goalkeeper. And this game's become very bitty this second half here. As Turner just playing it down the right hand side, looking for Warren Harris. Harris this time does beat Tom Stephen first time, and Burns hooks the ball out for a throw to the Rebels. I'm quite surprised that Slough haven't put James Dobson on to try and get something down this left hand side, but it's a throw now on the far hand side for Josh Jackman to take. And Jackman level with the 18-yard box of the East Thurrock half, just waiting for a bit of movement to come in here. I don't think Josh has got a long throw. It's a quick throw here towards Lee Togwell. Josh Jackman got the ball back here, trying to skip past Simmons. Oh, it goes past him well, but Tom Stephen has to come across to clear, and it's out for a throw to Slough. This time it's a little bit closer to the corner flag, and that does signal the movement forwards of Guy Hollis. That's going to be a long throw into the box here. A couple of East Thurrock subs just warming up on the far hand side. But Guy Hollis will take this. It's 3 or 4 yards away from the corner flag. It's going to be a long throw in, played in with a little bit of puff. Mark Nisbet right side. Ball bouncing around into the box. It's foot forward. Oh, and Giddens takes it from underneath the crossbar. It just didn't have a lot of power on the effort there. I think it was Scott Davis with the ball forwards. Higgins chests the ball down into the path here off Simmons down this left hand side. Oh, great challenge by Josh Jackman, who lets the ball run off him, and it's out of play for a throw to Slough inside their own half, which they'll let Guy Hollis come across to take. And so just got to be a little bit careful sometimes on the break here. But Guy Hollis with this throw for the Rebels. Throws it back towards Turner in the Slough goal. And Turner spreads it out to Nisbet, the captain with those orange boots. Has the ball, brings the ball forwards 10 yards. And he's urging Slough to come forwards here. And gives the ball away to Lee and puts Slough on the back foot, but he wins the ball. Then it comes off the head of Harris, and Slough have a throw here. And one of the East Thurrock fans wouldn't give the ball back to George Wells, but he has the ball now, and under pressure just gets a challenge on in there, and it's won back here by East Thurrock with Egan. Egan gets the ball knocked off him by Dunn. The inside here towards Perry Coles. Coles got Warren Harris and Chris Flood making a run. Finds Chris Flood. Flood just being forced wide. Trying to find Josh Jackman on the overlap. Jackman gets there and plays it across. It's a good save though by the goalkeeper. Jackman wins the ball and he's adjudged to a foul. That's a good effort there and a good save by the goalkeeper. But it's a foul by Josh Jackman as he went to the rebound there. Good save with his feet there by the goalkeeper Giddens. Josh Jackman on that run through there, but still 0-0. We've got Corby Town 1, Dunstable 3. We always like to give the good news whenever Corby lose. So Giddens takes this free kick from inside of his box. Long ball down the field. It's easy header for Nisbet. Finds Warren Harris. Harris flicking the ball on and it almost reaches Coles, but it's here with Burns. Burns chips it with the outside of his foot, but it's going to go all the way through to Turner in the Slough goal. Hits it first time. Ball goes straight out of play though for a throw to the home side. Almost on the corner flag, and they're going to have a substitution as well. Coming on for them is a double substitution. Coming off Ben Marlow, coming on is Danilo Orsi Dodomo. And coming off is Jack Simmons. Is 14 is Tom Derry. So those substitutions on 60 minutes. And that's Tom Derry and Danilo also Dodomo on, coming off of the two wide men, Marlow and Simmons. Ball play forward by Slough. Coles can't reach it, and it's gone all the way back here towards Giddens in the East Thurrock goal. And again, he's chased down, but a long clearance by him. And Hollis gets a poor touch on that, but manages to flick it through towards Jack Turner in the Slough goal. And I think you're going to see that the two substitutes for East Thurrock are going to play a little bit more further forwards. And the ball's played out. Oh, Nisbet just whips that towards George Wells under a bit of pressure. And it's left back here for Turner, who lets the ball run across his goal mouth and hooks the ball clear. Oh, a little nudge in the back there on Perry Coles by Scott. The header from Guy Hollis towards Togba. Togba had the ball stolen off him by Egan. And the ball's back here on the far hand side with the left back Tom Stephen. Plays the ball forwards looking for Higgins. Ball comes through to the edge of the box. And Wells is there, and it's a foul. It's a free kick for a foul by East Thurrock on the far hand side, and substitution for Slough. And coming off is Simon Dunn. Coming on is James Dobson on 61 minutes for the Rebels. So Dobbo will come into the left midfield position, maybe just add a little bit of pace and power down this left hand side. And Slough both teams have used both of their substitutions this afternoon. Graham wanted Dobson and Coles on, and he's got Dobson and Coles on. So Turner with this free kick aimed towards Wells. Wells takes it on his chest well. Oh, nutmegs past Danilo also. Ball played in first time. Oh, comes to the far post. Back in. It's played by Warren House. It's blocked by Burns. Great challenge by Burns. His clearance isn't the best, but it's going to manage to find Moncur, who gets past the sliding challenge of Jackman. Ball played forwards here for also Dodomo to come in. Plays the ball in first time. It's gone through to the far post. There's a dive in the penalty area. The ball's still bouncing around. And it's cleared by Sandy and towards Warren Harris. Play at either end. Ball's one back here, and it's Harry Lee with a shot from distance. There's a player down in the box. There's got to be offside, surely. But appeals there for a penalty from the home side, as it was the substitute Tom Derry on the far hand side who come into the box there, and it was Josh Jackman with him. He looked like he went down a little bit easier. The referee said no penalty. And Slough had a chance just down the other side. Danny Harris, the right back, just having a word with the referee here. And a few fans just to our near hand side, just having a go at the referee. And it's a goal kick here to the Rebels for Jack Turner to take. Drilled by the Slough goalkeeper, and Chris Flood heads the ball on though. It's only as far as Burns, who smashes that ball clear. And Jackman will let the ball run out of play and out for a throw to the Rebels just inside their own half. Jackman just trying to take it quickly there, but it's just going to be pushed back, I think, by the referee here. So he gains a few yards without even throwing the ball here. And his throw looking for Flood. Flood trying to flick the ball on. Warren Harris can't beat Burns to the ball. It's a few bits of pushing and shoving. Davis trying to get there. It's come through to Higgins. First time ball into the path of Moncur. East Thurrock trying to get through. Intercepted brilliantly by George Wells, but then just gets a high foot in the face there from Moncur, and it's a free kick to the Rebels for a high foot by Moncur on Wells. And now the Slough fans who have mixed their congregation. Some are behind the goal and some are in the stand on the right hand side trying to make a bit of noise because it's enclosed. But it's a free kick here to Slough just inside the East Thurrock half. It's got Davis standing over this free kick. Again, Nisbet and Hollis have gone forwards for the Rebels. And Davis plays the ball in. It's going to be headed away by Scott. Comes out here towards Chris Flood on the edge of the box. He's almost playing as a right winger here at the moment. Tries to skip past the substitute Derry, but it comes off him last. It's out of play for a throw to East Thurrock, deep inside their own half. So still 0-0 here. We played 63 minutes here. It's almost coming up to the 20-minute mark of this second half. Still not a lot going on. East Thurrock have looked a little bit brighter this second half by far. And the ball played in. One back by Josh Chapman. Gets the rebound. It hits Moncur. And Moncur tries to spread the ball here. And it's a good ball in towards Harris, the right back, who's just forced to slow down here up against Dobson. Chips the ball down the line. And it's just going to go out of play for a throw to Slough. And it's going to be George Wells that will take this throw for the Rebels, I think. And long throw by him, flicked on by Dobson. Dobson turns past Harris, then chips the ball down the line. Scott with the interception, but Flood gets his body in the way there, and it's a foul by Flood. And I think Flood just got his body in the way there, but the referee just deemed that as a free kick, and it's taken by Danny Harris, taken quickly to Egan. Egan heads it the wrong way, and then Davis got caught there, and it's a free kick to Slough. And the free kick's coming quite quickly here. It's a very scrappy game here at the moment. Quickly taken by Davis towards Dobson. Dobson's got a bit of space here to run into, but crosses first time. Comes in towards Flood. Burnso hits the ball high up into the sky. Danny Harris flicks the header on. Davis can't get a touch to it. Bounces around here, and it's flicked on by Higgins. Intercepted though by Guy Hollis. And Hollis just chipping the ball out, looking for the run of Coles. Coles here up against Stephen. Oh, Coles does well to get past him. Crosses the ball first time. Flood tries to get a great defensive header by Scott though, and it's come out here towards Monker. This game is becoming a bit end-to-end here. But it's still without any real efforts. Ball's here with Lee. Lee trying to find the substitute Orsi Dodomo, but it's too much on it and out of play for a throw. And Slough have to be careful. The two substitutes are playing very wide for East Thurrock at the moment, so I've got to be careful for that. Quick throw here by Slough finds Jack Turner in the Slough goal, and the ball played forward, and Danny Harris has plenty of time to chest that ball down, and then plays it in towards the substitute also Demodo. Plays the ball forwards, but it's a good challenge by George Wells. It kind of skids through to Turner. Turner plays it in first time, looking for Dobson. Dobson comes off the shoulder there. It's flicked on though by Lee, and Higgins is trying to get there. It comes off Hollis is behind towards Moncur. Moncur now running down this right hand side, being tracked here by Togwell all the way, and Moncur trying to go past him on that far hand side. Does well to get across in here, but it's hooked clear in the end by Nisbet, and out of play for a throw to East Thurrock down the far hand side. Not a lot going on here, but both sides are just getting the ball wide, but no real chances created. And it will be a long throw on the far hand side here by Harry Lee for East Thurrock. We've got bodies in the box. It's a huge throw here, bouncing around in the box, and it's going to be Lee Togwell that clears it off out of play. It's gone all the way out of the ground and bouncing around onto the training pitch behind. And it'll be another throw here for East Thurrock. Again, Lee will be the player that takes it again. Another long throw for Slough to defend. And this time he's level the 18-yard box this time is Lee with this throw. And again, it's got some distance on it. Nisbet gets a header to it. Ball bouncing around inside the box, but it's headed towards Turner, and it's an easy save for him to take. Ball played forwards, trying to find Coles. Comes off the head of Stephen, and Dobson will keep this ball in down this left-hand side. He's got a bit of space here, and looks to cross it first time. That's a great ball in. Comes through to Coles. Coles' touch isn't very good, but he gets a second chance to control the ball, and he's being forced wide here, but gives it back here towards Dobson. Takes a touch. Hits it with some power across the goal. It's blocked, and Harris will try and keep it in. He can't do it. It's out for a throw to the Rebels. Again, Scott Davis has come across to take this throw. Slough fans just trying to make some noise on that far hand side. Throw comes in quickly here towards Dobson. Dobson with a touch towards Wells. Wells inside towards Davis. Davis back towards Dobson. Dobson trying to skip past the challenge of Egan, but it comes off Dobson last. It's a throw to East Thurrock. Good defending by the striker there. And It's a throw here for the home side with Danny Harris, the right back, to take this. Eventually, he can't be time wasting at this time, surely. And the throw comes in from him. Easy header for Wells, but Scott's there with a defensive header towards the right back Harris, and Scott can get a second chance to clear. Poor touch by both players, and then Davis comes through, and not the best of play here between the two sides. Very bitty. And the ball played forwards, headed away by Wells. Togwell beaten to the ball, but it comes through to Nisbet, who volleys the ball forwards. Coles is trying to challenge with Burns. Burns gets a touch on his head, but it's flicked on by Flood, trying to find Coles. Coles trying to get his body in the way. Comes here to Davis. Davis wins the ball. Oh, it's only Scott, though, that volleys it clear, and Scott got caught. It's a free kick here to East Thurrock. Neither side is putting a stamp on the game here at the moment in these last 5 minutes. But it's still 0-0, and Danny Harris just been spoken to by the referee there for just maybe something that he said, but nothing in it, and the game will restart with a free kick to be taken by Giddins, the goalkeeper, for East Thurrock. Coming up to 70 minutes gone, 20 minutes left of this game plus added time. 0-0 the score, and Giddins will eventually take this free kick and aimed on the far hand side towards Derry. Derry does well to flick that header on, hooked away though well by Nisbet, and Derry tries to win the second one, but Togwell with the cushion header puts Jackman on the back foot, and Jackman has to clear it straight out of play, and it's a throw on the far hand side. Tom Stephen, the left back, has gone across to take this throw, trying to take it quickly. Warren Harris has intercepted it and won the ball back. His clearance is poor, goes out of play, and that just means that East Thurrock have the ball overthrow just inside the Slough half this time. And again, they're going to leave it for Tom Stephen to take. And Tom Stephen just being told by the referee just to pop back a little bit here. And he's now happy he's in the right place. Ball played in. It's headed away by Warren Harris towards Togwell. Togwell, little ball in here for Warren Harris. Now inside for Flood to John with his feet. Plays it in towards Coles. Coles is coming through against Scott. Coles just holds the ball up. Back heels in towards Puff Dobson. Oh, Dobson skips past the challenge. Got the ball here on the right hand side. Needs to pick out the ball. It's blocked by Gittins. It's a good save. It's out for Slough's first corner of the game. But a save there by Giddins as the ball was going to go across the field of play. And Slough have their first corner. And Dobson will be the player to go across to take this from this near hand side. And Nisbet and Hollis have gone forwards here for the Rebels for this corner. And it's going to be an outswinging corner here for the Rebels. Their first corner of the game. It's played into the far post, where it's Nisbet heads the ball back into the danger area. The goalkeeper pushes it out. It will come here towards Scott Davis. Little pass out here towards Dobson. Good play in. Dobson crosses first time. That's a great ball. Oh, and Guy Hollis rises high, but can't direct it downwards. And it's out of play for a goal kick to the home side. 0-0 here, the score. But first goal mouth action we've had there. And again, Giddins is the goalkeeper that's been the more busy of the two here. But still 0-0. And Slough just seeing that Louis Swords is warming up down the far hand side. Long kick here, again aimed towards Higgins. It's come off the head of him and Derry, and it's fallen here towards Josh Jackman. Jackman shipping the ball forward, looking for the run at Coles. Coles can't get there, and it's well commanded back to Giddins. Giddins going mental at somebody for some reason, the East Thurrock goalkeeper. So again, plays the ball in here. It's well won by Hollis. Warren Harris does well to flick the header on. Scott will try and get there first. He comes across and then hooks the ball clear for the home side. Headed away by Hollis, trying to find Dobson in the centre. Togwell wins the next header ball, just bounces, hits Togwell on the backs. Lee has a chance to clear, and Josh Jackman, under pressure from Tom Derry, heads the ball back towards his goalkeeper really well, and that's good defended by Josh Jackman there. And it's the ball's here with Turner, and he finds Wells. Wells has a good touch here, but takes it just past the substitute. Back in from Davies to Wells. Oh, Wells skips past two players with one ball. In towards Dobson. Dobson's got a bit of space here inside. Wells has continued his run. Wells gets in. He gets his cross. It's out for Slough looking for a corner. It must have come off Wells last. But Great run forwards there by George Wells from that left back position, but still 0-0 here as we enter the first, and we can see the third and final substitution. Warren Harris is coming off, and Louis Soares is the player coming on 74 minutes, and that's Warren Harris off, Louis Soares on. That's the final substitution for the Rebels this afternoon. And so Slough have used all three substitutions now in an attempt to try and put a bit of attacking play into this last 17 minutes. It's a goal kick here though for East Thurrock, taken by Giddens. A beautiful summer day here, looking for Higgins. Higgins plays the ball across here to the substitute Orsi Dodome, puts the ball in. Oh, and Nisbet almost puts it into his own net, but it's taken by Jack Turner, who throws it out here towards Soares, and Soares has got a bit of time. Oh, he's played it forwards here towards Davis. Davis has got a bit of time and space. Finds Dobson on the left hand side. Since Dobson's come on, Slough getting better down his left side. First time cross. Scott hooks the ball clear, and it's found Danny Harris, the right back. His clearance finds Moncur. Moncur with the ball forwards, finding Egan. Egan just inside his own half, trying to chip the ball forwards. It's too much for Derry to chase. It goes through to Jack Turner in the Slough goal, and Slough almost conceding a known goal there off Mark Nisbet. Still 0-0 here. Ball played in, looking for Coles. Coles trying to turn his player. Finds Dobson, but it's backhill, and it's come out here towards the substitute Dodi Orfoso. Plays it in too close to Jack Turner, and Turner just quickly gathers the ball and rolls it out to try and get Slough on the attack here with Mark Nisbet. Too many players are in a inside position. They need to be a bit wider here for the Rebels. Ball comes out here towards Josh Chapman. He's going to chip the ball forwards here for Flood to run onto. Burns with the header away. It will come out here towards Soares. Soares just chips the ball forwards, looking for Lee Togbo. Togbo down the right hand side. Plays it in here towards Flood. Flood with the goalkeeper. Oh, good save again by the goalkeeper. And Giddens has kept this side in the game here this afternoon. It's another good save from the goalkeeper. On target, save from Flood. The ball comes through here to Hollis. Hollis just launches it into the summer sky. Underneath it is Togbo trying to hold the ball up, looking for a free kick. One back here by Moncur. In towards Egan. Egan trying to chip it out and finds the right back Harris. Harris with the ball forwards. That's a good ball forwards here, and coming onto it is Orsi Dodomo. Harris has continued his run. Nisbet has gone across to block it. It's come out into the box. It's a shot from distance from Egan, but not on target. And now to play for a goal kick to the Rebels. A game becoming very end to end here between the two sides, but still Giddens has been the busier of the goalkeepers. Another fine save by the goalkeeper low down. I just wonder if Slough may want to try and chip it over him. He gets down quite low, quite quickly, does the goalkeeper. Be interesting if they can just chip a ball over him rather than firing it in low. Turner with this kick aimed towards Dobson, over the head of him, and that goes straight out of play for a throw to the home side, 20 yards away from their own goal line. It's going to be taken quickly towards Scott. Scott back here towards Harris. Coles tries to chase it down, back in towards Scott. Scott has a chance to clear the ball. Well won by Josh Chapman for Slough. In towards Mark Nisbet. Controls the ball. Plays it in towards Davis. Davis under pressure and loses it to Lee. Lee just brings the ball forwards. Davis will try and chase it back down. In towards Moncur. Moncur turns. Puts the ball forwards, and there's an offside against Orsi Dodomo. Taken quickly by Slough with Wells. In towards Dobson. Dobson cuts inside. Brings the ball with him. Runs 10 yards. Chipping it out now. Looking for Soares on the right hand side. Stephen gets a touch to it with his head. And Derry keeps the ball in for East Thurrock on the far hand side. Back towards the left back Stephen. Hollis has come across for Slough to win the ball and finds Scott Davies. Davies under pressure here. Turns well. Oh, skips past the challenger Lee brilliantly. Then plays the ball in towards Dobson. Dobson's 30 odd yards away from goal. There's a slip inside the edge of the area. Dobson will try and create. Oh, he's just dinked the ball in towards Coles. Coles who gets a shot in, and it's a fantastic challenge by Ryan Scott, the number 5, who blocks the ball with Coles just for the goalkeeper to beat. It's a corner to the Rebels, their second of the game. And Slough with Coles causing a lot of problems here to this back four. But Slough with this corner. James Dobson standing over. It's going to be an outswinging corner here for Slough. It's going to be Nisbet as well going forwards for it. Goes to the far post. It will come here towards Perry Coles. Coles will keep the ball in here for Slough. Crosses it first time into the box. It's bouncing around. It's going to be smashed clear in the end by Burns, and Slough still can't capitalise on it. Wells tries to get there first. The ball comes to Moncur, just eases it into path of Egan. Through to Higgins. Higgins with the ball forwards. And Osorso is offside, which is the goalkeeper to beat. He goes round him. Oh, and he scores for East Thurrock. Their first goal for Danilo Orsi Dodomo. His goal comes on 79 minutes. Slough looking for an offside. Wells trying to keep it out, but he goes round the goalkeeper. Just checking with the referee here that he wasn't offside, and the goal stands, and East Thurrock take the lead on 79 minutes. And the goal coming from Daniel Orsi Dodomo, the only player to score for East Thurrock so far this season. And a hint of offside, but the linesman kept his flag down. And on the break, Slough have been beaten by East Thurrock here, and they're one down here at the moment. And that is a poor bit of play. A good counter-attack by East Thurrock from a Slough corner that wasn't well taken. And again, Slough can't put teams away. Giddens has had the saves to make. Ball played out here now towards Saws. Saws being closed down here towards Chapman. Chapman plays the ball forwards. Burns comes across to chest the ball away. And Slough heading for only their second defeat of the season here at the moment. Davis heads the ball on. Headed away by Burns. It comes through eventually to Saws. Saws trying to shield the ball out for a throw. Gets his throw. And Scott Davis standing over this throw for Slough. In towards Dobson. Dobson challenged on the edge of the box. Pokes it in towards Flood. Ball bouncing around on the edge. Flood finds... he tries to find Saws. Saws had stopped his run. And it's up here towards Higgins. Higgins holds the ball up well. Skips past the challenge. And again on the break here, it's Egan coming through here. Just still where else to be. He goes round him. He shoots from distance. It's a poor shot because that's easily saved by Jack Turner. And he really should have gone on forward, should the player. But long ball forwards in towards Scott. Scott beaten to the ball there. And there's a foul on Togwell for a free kick to the Rebels. And Slough are behind here now this afternoon. And it's just getting a bit frayed here at the moment. Slough need to... They're trying to go forward and being hit on the counter-attack again from one of their attacks. And Cole's just been spoken to here by the referee, Mr. Packman. Him alongside Leah just been spoken to. And no yellow card shown, but Slough behind here at the moment. And that goal by Orsi Dodomo separates the two sides here. And Slough being caught on the attack. They've got to be careful of that. They're pushing for an equaliser, but they've got to be aware not to go 2 goals down. It's 1-0 to East Thurrock. Davis will take this free kick. Just giving the ball away. Poor by the Rebels. And it's here with the goal scorer, who looks up and plays it first time, looking for Egan. Jackman comes across for Slough. Wells has to get there first and shields the ball, but then he's had it taken off him by the goal scorer. In here towards Higgins. Higgins just holds the ball up. Hits it with his left foot. Ball on the far hand side. Trying to find Moncur, but Moncur can't keep it in. It's out for a goal kick. And again, Slough just wasted that free kick there. Davies and Wells just not communicating. And Slough just are literally just shooting themselves in the foot here. And they're losing to the club bottom of the league, who'd only scored 1 goal before today. Saws tries to win the header. It falls to Jackman. Jackman's ball played forwards too much on it. Out of play for a throw to East Thurrock on that far hand side. It's East Thurrock with the lead. We've got around about 8 minutes plus whatever the referee adds on. And it's a throw to East Thurrock. East Thurrock are just wasting time pretty badly here. They're just the ball's been thrown to them. They're not actually picking the ball up. So Stephen is going to take this throw on the far hand side, the left back. And it's the left back just throws it up in the air. Derry trying to get underneath it. Saws wins the header for Slough. Comes off the back of Togwell towards Dobson. Dobson can't get there first. He comes to the sub, also Dodomo, who's actually looked really good since he's come on. You wonder why he didn't start the game. Ball played forwards. That's poor ball forward by Danny Harris. It's into the arms of Jack Turner, the Slough goalkeeper, who will look to play the ball forwards here for the Rebels. Played in looking for Coles. It's come here, bounces out towards Moncur. Moncur runs with the ball. Just holds up inside the centre circle. Plays it back out here to this substitute Orsi Dodomo, who's looks very lively. Plays the ball into Derry. Wells with the header away. Slough on the back foot. It'll come through towards Scott. Scott under pressure from Coles. Goes back towards his goalkeeper Giddens. And Giddens can clear under pressure. It's under, looking for Higgins. Higgins heads the ball on, looking for Egan. Gets caught by Hollis, and it's a free kick for the home side for a foul by Hollis. And Giddens is shouting at his defence to try and stay organised. There's a free kick here for the home side, 30 yards away from goal. I think I just broke something, but there you go. Some Slough fans making their way to the exit already. Still got 6.5 minutes plus whatever the referee adds on. It's a free kick 30 yards away from goal, level with the tram line of the 18-yard box. Standing over it is the number 9, Sam Higgins. And a two-man wall here for the Rebels. The ball is played in by him. Headed away by Nisbet. Will come back out to the goal scorer, Orsi Dodomo. He has plenty of time. Just going to wait for the challenge. It doesn't come from Hollis. He lets the ball run out of play for a throw to the home side. And they're in absolutely no hurry whatsoever to take this throw. Harry Lee is the player that comes across to take this. And he's just slowly walking over to take this throw. Again, Slough counting the fact that they've missed some chances here. Giddens has had a fine match in the East Thurrock goal. Ball comes in towards Higgins, holding the ball up in the corner flag. Very much what Slough do. Higgins has done well to turn and gets into the box, and it's intercepted well by Nisbet. And then there's a foul here by Higgins on Togwell. And the referee will give the first yellow card of the game to Sam Higgins. And that substitutes foul. So yellow card on 85 minutes. First yellow card for a late challenge on Lee Togwell. Slough have a free kick inside their own penalty area. And Giddens is shouting mentally. Can't just sit down, mate. I can't see. Long kick here by Jack Turner. Underneath it is Flood, but it comes off the head of Scott, and it's a throw here to Slough. Slough don't need to panic too much here, but I just need to undo my microphone in a second. Ball thrown in here towards George Wells. Wells crosses on the far hand side over the head of Stephen. Stephen gets a touch to it. Saws is the player that keeps the ball in for Slough. Pressured by two players. Plays it off. It's out for a corner on the far hand side to the Rebels. Corner number 3 for them. It's on the far hand side. Dobson goes across to take it. This will be an in-swinging corner. Bear with me for 2 seconds. Right, so it's going to be an in-swinging corner here for Slough. Dobson to take this. Played in. Oh, it's played in low. It's a poor corner. It's going to be cleared well. And Josh Jackman tries to get there in front of Higgins. Higgins gets there first and holds the ball. Tries to play it down the line. It comes off Higgins last. It's a throw to Slough. And from a poor corner there, Slough have got the manage to get the ball back. Hollis is going to cross and go to take a long throw into the box for the Rebels. And he's around about halfway inside the East Thurrock half on that far hand side. Just skips past the barriers. Oh, takes it short here towards Davies. Davies now the chance to cross the ball in. Runs with the ball, running with it. Just evades a challenge, overruns the ball. Still running with it. Still going. He's going across the goal. Chips the ball to the back post. There's no one for Slough waiting for it, and it's gone wide and out for a goal kick. Davis ran 40 yards across the pitch there, running, evading the challenges. Little dink ball through. No one saw it, and it will allow Giddens in the goal to take a little bit of time to clear this. And Giddens will finally get to take this goal kick into the final 4 minutes of the game, plus whatever the referee, Mr. Packman, adds on. Slough heading for their second defeat of the season. Ball comes off Hollis last. It's a throw to East Thurrock on the far hand side. And it looks as though the Rocks are going to be beating the Rebels here this afternoon. No hurry for this throw to come in from Stephen, the left back. He's actually going to leave it for Lee to take. And it looks like this controversial goal of possibly offside is what will separate these two sides. Lee just taking his time with this throw. And finally puts this long throw in. Josh Chapman with the header away. Just heads out of bounds and means that East Thurrock have gained a few yards here. And it looks like since their talisman comes back into the team, Higgins, that they may start their winning run. Slough are losing here at the moment. They've got no attempt to get the ball back here. It's East Thurrock with the ball in these last few minutes of the game. As we wait for Lee to put this long throw in. And it goes into the box. So Jack Turner just drops it and then catches it the second attempt, and now looks to try and get Slough on the attack, but Slough have only got they've got Nisbet playing up front for them at the moment. Ball played forwards, played on the far hand side. Stephen jumps with Saws. It's falling here towards Lee with a little ball down here towards Derry, the substitute. Derry turns and plays the ball back here to Stephen. Slough can't get hold of the ball here at the moment. Ball played forwards, and a little tussle comes all the way through to Turner. Turner just pushes the ball straight out of his penalty area, plays the ball down the field. Slough with Nisbet up front. Nisbet can't get better of Scott, and it will come out here towards Hollis. Hollis jumps up with Derry and wins the ball, finds Togwell. Togwell turns and tries to play the ball in, looking for the runner. Coles can't get there. It skips through towards Gideons, who dives on the ball. He'll waste a little bit of time here, and it looks as though Slough are heading for defeat here in Essex. They hate Essex to Slough. Very rarely have they come away from Essex with some points. It doesn't look like it's going to happen today, as Gideons takes a long kick into this glorious sunny night sky. Higgins tries to hold the ball up. It's intercepted by Hollis, who now tries to power forwards with the ball. Surging forwards is Guy Hollis, coming down this left hand side, just being held up here by Moncur. Holds the ball up, just still running with it, loses the ball out to Lee, and again he looks up and saying, well, where was my help? Ball played forwards to Derry. Slough needs some defending here because it's 4 against 3 here for the home side. Ball's here with Derry trying to feed it in towards Moncur, but it's too short for him, and Jack Turner picks the ball up. Now we've got too many men back. Oh, poor kick by him. It's intercepted well by Lee. In towards the goal scorer, Orsi Dodomo, being urged to come down the right hand side. Plays it forward to the other substitute, Derry. Derry inside the box. Crosses first time. Looking for Higgins, but it comes from Togwell last. It's out for a throw though. And again, they won't rush to take this throw. We've had no indication of how many minutes are going to be added on, but we are into the final seconds of normal time. And again, there's no hurry for East Thurrock to take this throw. I've only just realised what their nickname is, even though it's written on the team sheet, and there's a massive sign that says Home of the Rocks. I didn't even know what they were called. And it's going to be 5 minutes of added time has been signalled here. And the ball played forwards into Higgins, back out towards the left back Stephen, intercepted by Josh Chapman. It's got Lee Togwell helping him out there, and Togwell clears only as far as Egan. Egan's touch holds the ball up here, finds Harry Lee. Lee trying to play the ball down. It's going to take a slight deflection. Josh Chapman comes across and hooks the ball away for the Rebels. Egan wins the header. It's now trying to get hold of the ball. It's in here by Nisbet. Nisbet finds George Wells. Wells opens his body and plays the ball down the field. Sorry, Nisbet's playing up front. What am I about? Hollis in towards Dobson. Dobson trying to play the ball. Oh, intercepted well by Burns. That's a great challenge. And it comes through here. Togwell wins it on the far hand side and turns past a couple of players. Oh, then gives it away, but it hits and falls ricochets to Davies. Davies just crosses the halfway line. Chips the ball here looking for Dobson, but it's got too much on it and it's out of play for a throw to East Thurrock, and they will not rush to take that. In fact, it's a Slough fan that's had to go and get the ball. And Danny Harris will take this throw for East Thurrock. Everyone dressed in yellow here. Don't know who's a home fan and who's an away fan. It's going to be Harris who will eventually take this throw. Aimed, then it's headed away by Wells, and it's Harris just lets the ball run out of play for a throw. Dobson has to go and run to get the ball for him because he doesn't want to go and get it himself. And Harris will take this throw here for East Thurrock. He's just laughing. Slough heading to defeat here in Essex. A long throw comes in. Wells again with the header, straight out of play for another throw. And it's Harris again taking his time with this throw down this left hand side. He's actually going to get a yellow card for time wasting. Is Danny Harris in the 92nd minute. And the throw comes in. He's gained a few yards with the throws. Flicked on well here. And Hollis has to chase against the goal scorer, Orsi Dodono. But it's come through here to Jack Turner, who's still being chased by the substitute. Ball played forwards here by Turner. Nisbet's underneath it. Tries to get a header on it. It's well won by Burns. Comes out and flicks out here towards Wells. Wells just plays the ball forwards. And Burns goes in again. Clatters into towards Nisbet. The ball's held up here by Higgins. Higgins just trying to chip the ball forwards. Wells has got some running to do to get this. It's into the 92nd and a half minute. Got about 2 minutes and 20 seconds of these 5 minutes added on time. Ball thrown in quickly here towards Hollis. Hollis turns his body halfway inside of his own half. Plays it forwards here looking for Flood. Flood trying to keep the ball in, but he can't. It's out of play, and again Slough have wasted the ball. And again it's going to be Harris who will take his time with this throw. He's deep inside his own half this time. And Slough are waiting for the throw to come in. It comes in. And this time Wells heads it towards Togwell, in towards Davies. Davies treads on the ball and leaves it behind. Then can't get there. He tries to dive in. In fact, it's won back by Hollis. Wells with a really bad two-footed challenge there. And Wells could see red here. Lee's having a fight with him. The referee is telling Wells just to stay down. But Lee was putting his arm on Wells. It's a poor challenge by George Wells in the first place. It really is a silly challenge. He's gone diving in. But Lee has been right in front of the referee. He's been putting his body in there. Wells is lucky to get just a yellow card for that challenge. Nothing for the number 8 referee? Nothing for the number 8. Okay, so it's all right to push someone in front of you. Okay, we'll let you have that one then, referee. You just seem to think that that's fine. It's a free kick here, though, for East Thurrock. Now we're just taking their eye off what they need to do, which is get the ball back. They're not doing it. And it's played forwards by Danny Harris, looking for the number 9 Higgins, but straight out of play. And Slough have a throw. I reckon you got about 40 seconds of whatever the referee has decided to add on. He may have had a little bit longer for that little challenge there by George Wells, which was purely frustration. Long kick forwards. Nisbet is playing strike, headed away by Burns. Comes through to Hollis. Now too far deep. Ball play forward. Burns heads it away again. Back in towards Hollis, who this time smacks it across for Stephen. Stephen gets a wild swing at it. Davis wins the header on, but only as far as the substitute, who plays it forwards. And Jack Turner has to chase the ball here against Higgins. And it's now looking to get this ball back here quickly. You're into whatever the referee adds on for anything else. Is he going to blow his whistle? He is indeed. And East Thurrock have won their first game of the season here. 1-0. The goal on 74 minutes from the substitute Danilo, also the Domo. Slough have wasted glorious chances today. The saves by the goalkeeper Giddens has kept them in the game. And at times he's made some very good saves, but Slough yet again struggled to put the ball into the back of the net. 11 chances they've had. Giddens may well have saved a lot of them, but Slough should have been in front long before that goal went in. But their failure to take the chances has cost them here, and it's East Thurrock who hit Slough on the break and could have had a couple more hitting Slough on the break. They claim their first win of the season, and it's only 1-0, and Slough will be disappointed with that performance today. They just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. Thank you all for listening, everyone who's on there. Connor, Graham, Miles, Neil, everybody who's been listening. A shame it wasn't the result that Slough wanted, but they hate coming to East Thurrock and Essex. It's never a good hunting ground for the Rebels, and it's not going to get any better for them because it is where they go next Saturday, where they are away to Chelmsford. I can tell you that Slough had 8 shots on target and still couldn't score a goal. So it's finished 1-0 here. And the victory goes to East Thurrock, and that may help them climb off the bottom of the table. But Slough will be back in action on Monday, where they are at home to Dulwich Hamlet, and they will be hoping that they can put the ball into the back of the net a little bit more than they have here. I'll give you the scores here from the rest of the games. It's Chelmsford 1, Bath 0, Chippenham 2, Billericay 0, their first loss of the season. Dulwich 0, Hamlet 1. It's Hungerford 1, Dartford 0, that's an upturn as well. St Albans 1, Eastbourne 1, Torquay 0, Hampton and Richmond 2, Wealdstone 1, Concord Rangers 1, Full-Time is Welling 1, Hemel 1, Western Supermare 1, Oxford 1, and Woking have come behind for beat Truro 3-1 and lead the table. So we'll be back on Monday with that game against Dulwich Hamlet. Until then, enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm off home and then off to the hospital, and then I'm going to sit in and do absolutely nothing tomorrow. So until then, enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll be back on Monday. Keep your heads up. Thank you.